And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to Game 6 of the 2019 GAC Baseball Championships here at David Allen Memorial Ballpark in Enid, Oklahoma, featuring the 5th-seeded Oklahoma Baptist Bison and the number 3 seed Arkansas Tech Wonder Boys. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. James Hill on the call along with Joey McWilliams. And Joey, we have seen an excellent day of baseball so far today. We have seen two very exciting contests, and we're about to get going here at the nightcap.
You know, they've come down to the wire. It's really been a fun day here in the GAC. Day 2, it's Sunday, a little bit later start to the day. I mean, they push things back a little bit for a Sunday for the church crowd, and you get a little bit later on. We could see some weather a little bit later, but for the first 2 games, we have not. It's been beautiful, not a lot of wind. We've seen bats. We've seen some good pitching. We've seen all kinds of things. It's been fun, and I look for nothing less in our game today. These are the 2 winners from yesterday, so this one should be the big one tonight.
Absolutely. If you're just joining us today, Harding defeated Southern Arkansas and eliminated the Mule Riders from play with an 8-6 victory in our first game. And then our last game was a doozy as Arkansas and Monticello took a big lead. Swasu came all the way back, and then Monticello walked it off in the bottom of the 9th on a wild pitch, of all things, and took a 9-8 victory. And that leads us to our game today. Arkansas Tech, Oklahoma Baptist. Both these teams looked really, really strong a day ago.
Oh, my goodness, yes. I mean, you get pitching from Arkansas Tech in which Hale retires 20 consecutive batters. You get Oklahoma Baptist coming back in and getting a little bit of vengeance from last year's collapse on Championship Tuesday against Southern Arkansas and playing against Southern Arkansas. We saw offense, we saw defense yesterday as well from these 2 teams. I think they both come in strong. And, I mean, whichever one comes out of this today, obviously remaining in the winner's bracket is a positive thing. But you want to talk about having the upper hand coming into the remainder of this tournament. I think that there's a confidence level that builds with the 2 wins.
Starting on the mound today for the Wonder Boys, wearing number 37, a senior lefty out of Magazine, Arkansas, Leighton Robinson. He is going to make his 10th start of the season, 16th appearance. He is 3-4 in the year with a 6.11 ERA, 31 strikeouts to 29 walks, and opponents hitting 283 off him. He's going to get the call here, and we are set to go for our final game of the day. Garrett McKee going to lead it off here for OBU as he takes strike 1. McKee, a .341 hitter, 13 doubles, 3 triples, 8 home runs, 32 RBIs, and 48 runs scored as the count moves to 1-1. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. He's going to rip that one into left field, and just like that, OBU gets the first runner on the board as McKee reaches on.
I mentioned back in game 1 we were talking about Oklahoma Baptist, and one of the things that OBU being the 12th team, the 12th member program in the Great American Conference, brings so much to the table athletically. I mean, Learfield Cups, 3 consecutive in the NAI before making the transition to Division II. One of the strongest programs in this athletic department is this baseball program. Wow, year in and year out under Coach Bobby Cox, they get it done.
And that's going to bring P.J. Harris down to the plate, the designated hitter, a .370 hitter, 14 doubles, 10 home runs, 42 RBIs on the year, also has 50 runs scored. We saw him walk 3 times yesterday before driving in a run on a double. He had a heck of a game against Southern Arkansas as he fouls that one off and goes behind 0-2. He's such a patient hitter at the plate, as you can see by his 43 walks on the season. His approach is really something to marvel.
Leading the team in that category, on-base percentage of .514, as you would expect with 43 walks.
Down the count 0-2 as McKee gets a lead. That one's going to be in the dirt for a ball. Nice stop by Post behind the plate. The count will move to 1-2. You know, we've been talking about Isaac Hale and what he was able to do yesterday, but don't forget on the OBU side, a terrific performance from A.J. Merkel, who really kept Southern Arkansas in check, had a little bit of a slow start, but then proceeded to go the distance and get a complete game of his own.
Yeah, gave up a couple runs early, and then after that, settled down, got everything taken care of. And well, when you can get all those innings, especially from your starting pitcher, game 1, man, that just puts you in so much of a better position in a double elimination tournament like we have here.
That one's going to be a chopper over the head of the pitcher. Coming up and making a play is McDermott, and he will get Harris at first. However, McKee's going to move to second. One down here in the top of the first.
Well, Harris did what he needed to do to advance the runner, but nearly beat that one out himself. That was a heads-up play from McDermott just to get across there just in time, and a solid throw to first.
We've seen some raw power today with some long balls, but nobody can hit him quite like this guy. The right fielder, Jake Gozo, a 327 average, 14 doubles, 2 triples, and I was going to say 18 home runs. Does he have 19? Not quite. Just caught at the warning track by Stroth. We thought he had number 19 there for a second, but it stays in the park.
Barely.
Barely.
Barely stays in the park. Nice grab, too, on the warning track. Really good play.
Stroth able to run it down. There's 2 down in the inning before we could even talk that much about Gozo. He had 65 RBIs, but now we move on to Ramon Enriquez, the catcher, wearing number 12, a 331 average, 15 doubles, 11 home runs, 61 RBIs, 2 triples as well on the season, a 624 slugging percentage as he's going to step into the box to face Robinson. That's
pretty impressive. Sorry, James. That's pretty impressive, too, when you have back-to-back batters in the lineup with 60-plus RBI piece like that. You know, if Gozo has all those RBIs, it's not all from the home run, even though he does have 18 of those, nearly 19. We saw that, but still, 18 of those. He's been able to get on base too, and Enriquez, part of those runs that are coming in have been from Gozo because he gets on base. So back-to-back players like that, 60-plus at this point in the season, pretty stellar.
As we come into this game, there may not be. Enriquez going to fly that one to right. Gar going to get under it. We'll hold that thought as we get ready to go to the bottom of the first. Robinson, a couple hard hit balls, but he's able to get out of it with no damage. We're heading to the bottom of the first. Wonder Boys coming to the plate.
That's why Geico's here 24 hours a day, every day. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Pay my bill.
Your account is already paid in full.
Oh, yeah, in that case, back to vacation mode. Boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and
voice-enabled bill pay, just a tap away on the Geico app.
Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo!
Ronnie, how happy are folks who save hundreds of dollars switching to Geico? I'd say happier than a camel on Wednesday.
Hump day!
Get happy.
Yeah!
Get Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
We go to the bottom of the first. No score here between Oklahoma Baptist and Arkansas Tech. OBU may be one of the hottest teams in the GAC, maybe even you could argue in the country. 10 straight wins coming into this contest. And they're going to get a start from their ace, the 6'6 junior out of Brownston, Michigan, number 11, Jake Lepetsky. And Joey Lepetsky, such a strong arm in this team, coming in with a 3.5 ERA, 5-3 on the year, going to make his 13th start, 85 strikeouts to 46 walks.
Now that is a good ratio, nearly 2-to-1 right there. That's what you want to see from a starting. That's what you want to see from any pitcher, starting or otherwise anywhere through the game. But he's solid, and that is, you know, I talk about the bats, and I know we'll get back to that, but we see now OBU for the first time today out in the field. I mean, the pitchers that have come through Coach Cox's system as well, they're no slouches either. I mean, there's always one or two that just seem to dominate whatever league it is. The GAC now, you go back a couple of years, the Sooner Athletic Conference, and before that, I mean, you know, he's going to find a way to get the most out of his pitching staff.
Left fielder Britt Stroth's going to lead it off here for Arkansas Tech. The lefty, a 327 average, 9 doubles, a home run, 25 RBIs, and 55 runs scored, which leads the Wonder Boys. Lepetsky set to go. First pitch, check swing. Don't think it mattered. It was in there for a strike, and the count's at 0-1. And Lepetsky Ahead in the count already. And really, it seems like the difference in this kind of 10-game winning streak you've seen from OBU, the pitching, the bats have been there all year. There's no doubt about that, as that misses for ball one. The pitching, though, has began to step it up a little bit. You know, you still have a couple anomalies there, an 8-run outing that they gave up to East Central, 8 runs to the SWASU, but for the most part, the pitching's really taken a step up here in April.
I agree with you, and I think that goes back prior to the winning streak, which we get to in just a moment.
The 0-2 pitch is going to miss high there for ball one.
Because in the 6 games prior to this 10-game winning streak, 6 consecutive losses. The pitching did let them down there. In 5 of those 6 games, they gave up at least 8 runs, and in 3 of the 6, double figures, including a 21-run spot against Oklahoma Christian.
Swung on and missed, strike 3. Lepetsky with a good start. He gets his first K of the game, and that's going to bring Dylan McDearman to the plate.
So, yeah, you're right. It's not, I mean, there's no doubt that the pitching has come alive. It's made a difference for the Bison as the season has wound out.
McDearman going to step into the box, the second baseman, a .354 average, 15 doubles, 11 home runs on the year, which leads the team, 39 RBIs, a .619 slugging percentage as he is into the box. Lepetsky's first pitch, missed a little high there for ball one. These two teams met earlier in the year in Russellville, and it was all OBU. 12-4 win before dropping game 2, 5-2 before finishing the series with an emphatic 13-2 win. And you know what will be interesting, Joey, as this game goes along, when you look at strikeouts, Lepetsky, obviously a strikeout pitcher. You just saw one there as the 1-1 count is going to be swung on and miss. Arkansas Tech, when it comes to the GSE, they are last in the conference in strikeouts at 240. This is a tough team to strike out.
Not afraid to swing the bat, though. I mean, these have been some pretty solid cuts here, even right now on the 1-2 count.
Lepetsky in his windup, the 1-2 delivery. Outside, ball 2 coming in around 89 miles per hour on that fastball. A lot of heat coming from the righty.
Very disciplined Coach Dawson's squad. Get up there and not just swing at any old thing.
2-2 pitch, blows it by him, strike 3. 2 batters, 2 outs, both coming from strikeouts.
I think they're doing everything they can. Right now, Lepetsky's doing his part to try to put that statistic to bed.
Right fielder number 13, Harry Gard, into the box, a .394 average, 8 doubles, a home run, 34 RBIs on the year, 38 runs scored. Lepetsky back to work here. First pitch on the middle in there for strike 1. And boy, here he is coming with some velocity right now.
He is.
Lepetsky maybe wound up a little bit for this start in the postseason. Back to the windup, the 0-1. Down the middle in there for strike 2.
You know, we saw Robinson did a really good job there in the first inning against some pretty good OBU bats. I think Lepetsky's trying to return the favor here.
0-2 pitch coming up. That's going to miss high and outside. Ball 1 as the train rolling through again here in Enid.
There it is, the 8-16.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Back into the windup, and the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and Jake Lepetsky, a freight train of his own. 3 strikeouts in the bottom of the first. We're through 1, no score between Tech and OBU.
Character, culture, and Christ have been the motto for Southern Nazarene University for many, many years. When I came as president, I was really curious about those words and really curious to dig into the archives. In fact, a conversation on campus one day with a visitor to our campus who asked that same question: what is character, culture, and Christ? Last but certainly not least, in fact, I would put it first, and that is serving Christ. I like the fact that it's last because it does undergird everything that we do. Our responsibility, I believe, more than anything else, is to serve our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Character, culture, and Christ have been the motto for Southern Nazarene University for many, many years. When I came as president, I was really curious about those words and really curious to dig into the archives. In fact, a conversation on campus one day with a visitor to our campus who asked that same question: what does character, culture, and Christ mean today? These days, I like to talk about refining character. I think that we're all in process, and in those collegiate years, those years of a university experience, there's a great opportunity to refine character.
Robinson going to work here in the top of the second as Eric Carlson fouls the first pitch off. Carlson batting fifth today, the first baseman, a .312 average, 12 doubles, 1 triple, 11 home runs, 50 RBIs. And I can't help when I'm looking through OBU's lineup just to chuckle. It's kind of like what we were saying with Arkansas Monticello. You just look at these gaudy numbers and it's just amazing.
Yeah, everyone in the starting lineup, and there's one statistic that's a little bit askew on our sheet, but everyone in the starting lineup for Oklahoma Baptist with a minimum of 22 RBI. 22. That's the starting point.
It's quite incredible as the 2-1 pitch is ripped into left field. See you later. Eric Carlson sends that one well over the left field wall. And just like that, Oklahoma Baptist takes a 1-0 lead on the solo shot.
Didn't think that either one of these pitchers could go at that pace that they were going the first inning. And you got to think these bats will come alive. OBU comes alive a little bit more quickly there. And what a great shot to left.
Absolutely crushed that one. And, you know, yesterday when we were here, the home runs were kind of just clearing. Today, the home runs are being just tattooed out as Gaimana Bartolome will step into the box.
Now, something about the weather, too. There was a little bit of a breeze into left field earlier today. I want to clarify. That did not make a difference in some of these home runs in Game 2. Maybe in Game 1. In Game 2, those were all going anyway. Even if the wind had been coming in, I think most of those go out, too. The reason I say that, the flag in right field is just draped across the pole. There's no wind to speak of right now. I think there's a storm on the way, but no wind to speak of right now.
Bartolome going to hit one up the middle. Thompson can't make the play. That will go down as an error, and Bartolome on his horse and gets into second base. And just like that, OBU in some business here in the top of the second.
You get one bat going, the next bat to follow, and a miscue at short. And all of a sudden you have a runner in scoring position again. Credit to Bartolome for recognizing what was happening as there at short as Thompson stayed there. I really didn't hustle too much after it. McDermott had to run it down, but even the throw back in, Thompson had to kind of limp to get over there, and Bartolome was already there plenty of time.
That's going to bring Brock Carter to the plate, the left fielder, who will take a strike. Carter, a .296 average, 9 doubles, 4 home runs, 22 RBIs. As we talk about Bartolome, interesting, one of the Hawaiians on this team. Actually interesting when you kind of look up and down the hometowns of OBU. You really don't see, you see a few Oklahomas here and there, but you see some Californias, some Oregons, Michigan from the starting pitcher, just a little bit everywhere, if you will, from all around, especially that West Coast.
Well, you asked that question earlier today. How do you get from, say, Puerto Rico to Alva, Oklahoma? I'm always surprised. I think every year I've been here, there have been, I know at least one, and maybe 2 or 3 from Canada, and I've already talked about 2 or 3 Canadians prior to this game.
Carter going to lace that one into right center. That will fall. They will hold Bartolome at third, but Brock Carter with a base hit, and hitting is contagious right now for the Bison.
It is. The momentum definitely on the side of the OBU Bison. One last point to that, at softball this past week, the GAC softball tournament, James, there were 4 players on the rosters from the state of Hawaii.
I know where 3 of them come from, and they're in the great city of Bethany, Oklahoma. They've got a few on that SNU softball squad, and so amazing to see some people from the island coming to the mainland and coming into Oklahoma as Brett Bloomfield will step to the plate and swing and miss at the first pitch. Bloomfield, a .223 average, 6 doubles, a triple, 18 RBIs, and 36 runs scored. An RBI opportunity here for Bloomfield, the shortstop. The 0-1 pitch Coming up from Robinson. High fly ball into shallow center field. Tough play. Giving chase and dropping it will be McDearman. They're going to get the lead runner at second, unfortunately. So it's going to turn into a fielder choice for Bloomfield. But a run does score, and it is an RBI. It'll be an RBI for Bloomfield.
It was a 4-6, I believe.
I believe that was correct. I believe it was McDearman was able to corral it and get it over to Thompson.
Yeah,
However,
that was a tough one. I don't know if he lost in the lights or how exactly he lost it, just could not bring it in.
it's going to bring Joey Pledger to the plate, the center fielder, as Pledger's going to take strike one. Pledger at 258 average, 9 doubles, 3 triples, 5 home runs, 34 RBIs. Had a huge game yesterday, had 3 hits in the win over Southern Arkansas. We've seen some 9-hole hitters that they aren't your typical 9-holes. As moving up to second base on the ball in the dirt will be Bloomfield.
Now you're right. There's no question that 9-hole spot is not an easy out by any stretch in this tournament. I'll tell you what, that misplay there on the fly ball not only scores a run, but it means it's still just 1 out in the inning, and a lot with which the Bison have to play right now, having just that 1 out. And get a speedster like Bloomfield at second base, put one deep enough out there, he may take a trip home.
And you think about how that 1 out was even recorded. It was almost a little bit of luck for Arkansas Tech, a play they weren't able to make, but thankfully for the force out, they were able to get one. 3-1 count now to Pledger. This is the 9-hole hitter, so the lineup about to turn around for this dangerous OBU offense. So 3-1 is the count. Robinson working from the stretch, gets that one over the plate for strike 2 and moves the count to full. Robinson sets in the stretch, the 3-2 pitch. Line shot at the third baseman, Minor, who's able to corral it, and there's 2 down.
Now again, a play like that looks more like self-defense. Just put a glove up there and watch it come in. He didn't have to move.
No, as we alluded to earlier today, they call it the hot corner for a reason. You've got to be ready for anything like that, and Minor able to make the play. 2 down brings the leadoff hitter McKee to the plate. 1 for 1 on the day. He singled his first at bat. He'll take the first pitch for a strike. Count will go to 0-1. Just to give you an idea, this is the leadoff hitter. You know, your leadoff guy, typically contact, speed. He has 8 home runs on the year still from the leadoff position. As there's a big swing and a miss.
Swinging like he wanted a 9th right there. Now 3 players on this team, 2 with 60-plus RBI, 3 with 60-plus hits. And McKee, one of those. As a matter of fact, the top 3 in the order.
That one in the dirt for ball 1. Count will go to 1 and 2.
Enriquez has 59, so his next one, should he get one here tonight, would be put him in that 60 range.
On nearly the entire lineup, 7 of the 9 in this lineup have 50 or more hits. The 1-2 pitch swung on, laced to center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Bloomfield going all the way home. Throw is well off the mark, going to second in safely as McKee comes off the bag, though, and that will end the inning. But nonetheless, the run does come home. 3 on the board for OBU here in the top of the second. We head to the bottom half. Bison leading the Wonder Boys 3-0.
Why be a ranger? At Northwestern, with small classes, you can be seen. With over 40 programs from business to nursing, you can be career-driven. With a campus home away from home, you can be independent. With over half our students graduating without student loans, you can be debt-free. And with a mosaic of cultures, you can be you. Northwestern, success lives here.
As a student athlete, I've been challenged both in the classroom and on the field. Between the education that I've received and the relationships that I've built, my time at Henderson State University has prepared me to live ready.
While studying chemistry, I learned so much about science and even more about myself. The professors at our school are amazing. They made a difference in my life and prepared me to make a difference in the world. Thanks to Henderson State University, I live ready.
Bottom of the second here, Oklahoma Baptist leading Arkansas Tech 3-0. And Joey McWilliams, as we look at that last play, the RBI single coming off the bat of McKee. You know, he kind of mentioned the center fielder for Arkansas Tech. Hickerson seemed a little unsure where to go with the ball there.
Now, it looked as though he was going to try to make the throw to third, as if the runner was not going to go. And when he saw the runner making the turn at the last moment, his body was already carrying the throw to third. He tried to throw it to home and threw it somewhere in between. I think you have to give the credit, though, to the catcher, Michael Post. Even though he was pulled so far off the plate, there was not a play at home, period, to be done. He throws it back to second, a rocket back to second, and gets it there, not in time for the initial tag, but as the turf carried the runner a little bit too far, able to make the tag after the fact. So credit to Michael Post then to make that third out.
Riley Hickerson's going to step into the box, the center fielder, a .395 average, 9 doubles, 2 triples, 25 RBIs on the year, 33 runs scored. As the second inning of work for Jake Lepetsky. Couldn't have put together a better first inning with 3 strikeouts.
No way.
As that misses for ball one, Lepetsky going back into the windup. And that's going to be a ground ball heading to short. Bloomfield up, fires, and that's going to be a base hit as Hickerson just used some speed to get down the base paths and beat it out.
Well, get that last play out of your system. Get on base now here in the bottom half of the inning and make something go.
Hickerson, I should say, 13 of 14 on the season. He has great speed, him along with Harry Guard, the 3-hole hitter, who's 19 of 19 on the season. So Hickerson gets on. And Zach Kesterson, the DH, going to come to the plate, a .357 average. 12 doubles, a triple, and 44 RBIs, which is tops on the team. So he'll step into the box. So Tech, first hit of the game, getting something started here. Lepetsky set to go to work from the stretch. Should point out, not an elimination game here today. Both these teams are 1-0. We've seen 2 teams go home. Southern Arkansas earlier today, and then Southwestern Oklahoma State in our previous game. Both these teams will live to see another day, no matter the result today, as that's in for a strike. The winner gets a date with Arkansas Monticello tomorrow afternoon in the 12 p.m. game, and the loser will see Harding University in an elimination game at 3:30. Well, we're on tap for day 3. Lepetsky, the 0-1, swung on and missed, 87 miles per hour over the plate, and the count's at 0-2.
Harding, probably a bit of a surprise if you looked at everything prior to the tournament's start yesterday and thought, well, Harding, maybe one of those teams to go home on Sunday. Not so much. Able to get a big win over Southern Arkansas in our first game of the day.
As this progresses, as the 0-2 pitch misses outside for ball one, I'm very interested in this Harding team and what they can do tomorrow, because when it comes to pitching at least, they're going to be one of the best in the GAC. And at the end of the day, when you get into tournament structures like this with double elimination, the deeper you can get into your staff and still have success, the better off you will be. And that does favor the Bisons of Harding. 1-2 pitch. That's in the dirt, a wild pitch heading all the way to the backstop. Rounding second, a big turn there for Hickerson, but he will just take the free base and stay on second.
Well, no matter who Harding has to face for the remainder of their time here in the 2019 GAC tournament, they're going to have a good pitching staff. I mean, these bats for the OBU Bison are not quiet. Monticello hit the ball. Tech hit the ball pretty well. Whoever of these two teams they wind up facing tomorrow is going to provide some offense, so they're going to have a solid pitching staff.
They will have their work cut out for them. Oklahoma Baptist, the lone team remaining from the Sooner State. The other 3 coming from the natural state in Arkansas, in UAM, Harding, and Arkansas Tech. SWASU being the other Oklahoma team to make the GAC tournament. As we said, they suffered a 9-8 loss earlier today. A 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Fouled into the mitt, and there's strikeout number 4 for Lepetsky. 2 down in the inning.
I'll tell you what, I mean, That's 89 now on the season. He's on. I was thinking he was on a pace to get to 100 before he gets out of the GAC tournament. He may be on a pace to get 100 before he gets out of the ball game tonight.
He seems to be a man on a mission right now. As Patrick Miner's going to step into the box, the third baseman. Miner only making his 17th start of the season, 4 doubles, a triple, 3 homers, and 17 RBIs on the season. Lopetsky sets. First pitch in the dirt, ball 1. Another pitch gets away here from Enriquez. And now the runner gets 90 feet away from home. Arkansas Tech down 3-0. Can they find a way to maybe scratch one out here on Lopetsky?
I'll tell you what, now we have seen in previous games how big the small miscues are. One person has been able to get on base, 4 strikeouts in the previous 5 at batters, and now that runner has already advanced to third. From 2 wild pitches, it's the little miscues. You can't let those happen.
Only 1 down here in the inning. The 1-0 pitch swung on through the right side, base hit. Arkansas Tech is on the board on the RBI single from Patrick Miner.
Now see that how much better of a position does that put Miner in as the batter? Okay, well, you know, we're trying to make something happen here. I don't have to try to just advance him to lay down a bunt or put one deep into the field. I just need to swing the bat now. And not only that, he puts it in the outfield, but he puts it on a line. He stays, gets a single out of it on top of the RBI. Just those little advancements, that's changed the complexion of this inning.
Corey Thompson, the shortstop, into the box, 299 average, 13 doubles on the year, 3 triples, 2 home runs, 26 RBIs. Those 3 triples lead the team as that first pitch, 87 miles per hour, on the block for strike 1. You know, it's saying 87, but we're hearing that pop all the way up here. You almost wonder if it's coming in a little bit hotter than that. The way Lopetsky is throwing here in the early going. He sets in the stretch, and the 0-1 pitch swung on and missed behind on that fastball for strike 2.
Says that one's 88. Speed gun down in this glove statue down here at David Allen Memorial Ballpark. It's a really handy place to have it. It just looks like a statue, but it's a very effective tool at that.
You can see it on your screens, a little statue right behind home plate.
It's that on top of the pillar there, that gray pillar.
The 0-2 pitch, high and inside for ball 1. I tell you what, I don't think I'd want an 88 mile per hour fastball coming high and tight at me.
Would not.
Not from Lopetsky there. He goes back to the stretch. 1 down. Tech has gotten 1 run back here in the bottom of the second. 1-2 pitch. Outside corner, just off the mark there for ball 2.
And you know something else, too. It's Corey Thompson. He's not the tallest player on the team. And that's probably an understatement. He's 5'5". You don't have to be throwing too high to be going high and inside on Thompson. So, yeah, I mean, that could be a little scary in there.
I'd love to see Thompson stand next to Gozo at some point in this game. Maybe Gozo can get over on second base and we can see the 2 standing together. Gozo, who towers at 6'6", and Thompson, who is 5'5", which from this vantage point might be being a little nice maybe. As the count goes to 3-2. Say same thing when we saw Tanner Long earlier from SWASU, also stands at 6'6". We'll check over at first. Heck, even the pitcher on the mound, Lopetsky, listed as 6'6" on this team. He's going to have a little bit of size on him. Those 2 got P.J. Harris, who is maybe tall, not as tall, but he's definitely got some muscle on him as well. We'll see him in the top of the third as there's a swing and a miss. Make it strikeout number 5 for Jake Lopetsky, and there's 2 down in the inning. And that's going to bring up Jonathan Arrieta, the first baseman. Arrieta making his 26th start, 2 doubles on the year, 9 homers, 23 RBIs, 20 runs scored. Arrieta made his mark yesterday with a pair of home runs in the win over Southwestern Oklahoma State. Back to work goes Lopetsky. He's retired 5 batters in this game, and all 5 retired have been via strikeout. First pitch, ball to the left side, out of play.
You talk about the height on these teams. You have to think that players like that, like Gozo, like Lepetsky, are going to be playing more than one sport. Likely with that height, basketball is the sport. Lepetsky was actually in high school a 3-sport athlete. He was all-state in baseball, all-state in football, all-conference in basketball. My goodness, there's your all-around athlete. So, folks, I mean, don't concentrate on just one sport. If you want to play on the next level, it's all right to play more than one. Try to excel in as many things as you can. You're going to find these college coaches will recruit multi-sport athletes.
Huge swing and a miss there as Lepetsky blows it by him, and I think that's a great point, Joey. I think you see some college athletes who are able to manage 2 sports, can do football and baseball both, and excel at both sports.
Now, not everyone's going to be Kyler Murray. I get that. But still, there are many who can play more than one. And it may not be a football and a basketball or a football and a baseball. It may be a football and a track, which will help you on both fields. One helps the other.
0-2 is the count here. Lepetsky well ahead here of Arrieta. And we get time, a little bit of confusion between Enriquez and Lepetsky. So we'll have a quick little conversation. Maybe a little bit off on the signal behind the plate. Quick conversation. Well, what they could be off on signals. We've seen pretty much one pitch that's been pretty dominant, I feel like. So not sure what the confusion could be, but
that's funny. His off speed is probably about 82. So
0-2 is the count as Arrieta going to step back into the box, and I think we are set to go. Imagine head coach Bobby Cox probably thinking in the dugout, give him the heater, Ricky.
Exactly. I'm just sitting there thinking he wants to throw the heat. He wants to throw the heat.
And the 0-2 pitch from Lepetsky. Guess what? Fastball, strike 3. 6 strikeouts through 2 innings for Jake Lepetsky. We are through 2 complete. Oklahoma Baptist leading Arkansas Tech 3-1.
I've heard people say Ouachita. Wichita.
Achita.
Ouachita.
Is it pronounced Ouachita?
Searching for Washita Baptist University along your route.
Some folks think the O is a Q, and they say Quashita.
Hey, Wachita. Wachita.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Washita.
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 How would you pronounce it?
Washita.
Wachita.
It's Washita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Washita, people. It's Washita.
Washita.
The professors care and they go out of their way to make sure that you are going to succeed.
Hi, I'm Rolante. I'm a sophomore in Southeastern, and we help make this video.
Top of the third here in Enid, Oklahoma at the David Allen Memorial Ballpark. P.J. Harris going to lead it off here against Leighton Robinson with the Bison holding a 3-1 lead. You know, the way this game's transpired with Lepetsky, 6 strikeouts already through 2 innings. You almost kind of forget Tech got a run across the board in that inning as Harris is going to single through the right side. And a leadoff single for the Bison.
And how did that happen? It came from 2 wild pitches. Yeah, you do. You forget about that with 6 strikeouts. How in the world did they get a run? By all rights, it shouldn't have happened.
As Gozo going to step into the box.
And if you're Tech at this point, you may be going, this is going to have to be how we do this, because right now, this guy's throwing so much heat, we can't keep up with it. We're going to have to get anything we can.
Gozo swings at the first pitch. That's going to get out of play. Gozo's 0 for 1 in his last at-bat. He put a charge down the left field line, but it was caught at the warning track. As we mentioned, the GAC leader, tied for the GAC lead in home runs with 18 on the year, along with GAC Player of the Year, Jean-Well Ponce from Northwestern Oklahoma State. 0-1 pitch coming. That's going to miss outside, ball 1. And just, I mean, what more can you say about Jake Gozo when you look at these just gaudy offensive numbers from a power point of view?
Realistic, that surprises me. I thought they were going to try to keep him outside all the way through. That's a dangerous throw right there. I think what stands out to me about the numbers, it's not just the 65 hits. It's not just the 65 RBI. Okay. It's the 62 runs, too. I mean, he gets on base, and he's able to, advance, stay with it, nothing silly in the base path. He's not going to try to steal a lot of bases. 3 for 5, 3 stolen bases in 5 attempts. He stays on base and lets his team get him around, too. So, once he gets on base, he makes things happen.
I think the most shocking thing to me is he's only been walked 21 times. You would think you'd get maybe the Bonds treatment after a while of, I don't want to pitch to this guy. He's going to hurt me because, as you said, he still has the 14 doubles and 2 triples, which is pretty incredible from the number 3 hitter. And as he ropes that one in the center, it's right at Hickerson, though, and there is one down here in the top of the 3rd.
All right, well, here's one that goes to what you were talking about a while ago, and your height, your body frame, doesn't necessarily make a difference per se in the talents and the gifts, whatever God's given you to be able to play the sport in front of us right now. But taking it just on a physical level, Corey Thompson's been hit by pitch 5 times. 5'5" Corey Thompson. 6'6", much bigger frame. Jake Gozo, once all season. So, he's able to stay in there and stay out of the way of it, too. He's just an impressive ball player.
Enriquez is going to come to the plate, and there's a ground ball to Thompson. He'll go to McDermott, and they'll go to Arrieta. It's a 6-4-3 double play, and the danger is averted for Arkansas Tech after the leadoff single. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. Oklahoma Baptist holding a 3-1 lead over Arkansas Tech.
For the last 100 years, UEM has made great contributions to Arkansas. Senator Blanche Lincoln stated in a letter to President Obama, "As we move forward in the 21st century, UEM will continue to prepare tomorrow's leaders to compete in the global marketplace for the next century." University of Arkansas Monticello Chancellor H. Jack Laster said the following for the centennial celebration: "As we approach our 100th anniversary, we are constantly reminded that we have always represented an opportunity to generations of people seeking a higher education and a better life." That message so clearly resonates today as it did in 1909. UAM is a university that is constantly exploring and developing new opportunities to help students open doors to a better life. UAM is celebrating a century of opportunity and excellence. Please join us as we continue to strive for excellence and greatness. One school, 10 decades of learning, 100 years of excellence.
Yeah, I've got choices.
I'm ready for my future.
Your future, your choice.
Bottom of the 3rd, Oklahoma Baptist leading Arkansas Tech 3-1. Jake Lepetsky back on the mound has been super impressive here in the early going. As you're going to see the 9-hole hitter for Tech in post. And then the top of the lineup. And I'm interested to see when this top of the lineup comes back around for Tech, can they make some sort of adjustment to Lepetsky? I know you laugh, and I got to kind of agree.
Sorry.
What can you do? But what could their different approach be? We'll find out. First, we're going to start with the 9-hole hitter and Michael Post, the catcher. 3 doubles on the year, 14 RBI, hitting .301 on the season. As he's going to get a swing here at Lepetsky. He's going to start from the windup. First pitch, outside corner.
Of course, it's a strike. And, you know, let me throw something out here for you. Let's just be realistic for a moment, okay? Weather's coming.
Absolutely.
Welcome to Oklahoma.
Yes.
You know, this is what we've seen again. We've talked about this prior to this. Oklahoma and Arkansas have seen a lot of weather. We know it's coming. We know it is likely that there is lightning in that. Okay? We've seen suspended games already. There's a possibility something like that could happen. If Lepetsky can stay in this game through something like that, you know, he comes back. I mean, I don't see him wearing down in the next hour or so. I mean, he can keep this heat going for a long time.
It sure seems like it thus far, but that will be an interesting dynamic if a delay does come.
Yeah.
One,
So
when it comes, and two, it's always hard to kind of get back up. But
yeah, I'm just throwing that out there because he's still out there on the hill right now. But what an impressive performance. Again, 6 outs, all of them Ks.
0-2 is the count. As we said, Tech's been able to get a run on the board. The 0-2, high there, ball one. Count will go to 1-2. It is a 3-1 ball game. OBU put 3 on the board back in the top of the second. Tech responded with one of their own, taking advantage of some wild pitches and really scratching one out to get one back in the bottom of the second. That one, kind of similar there as that gets to the backstop and the count goes to 2-2.
These two teams, again, played the 3-game series earlier this year. Not as far back as the other two teams had played when they met. This one back in late March, 22nd and 23rd. OBU comes away with the series victory 2-1. And in each of OBU's victories, 12-4 and 13-2 scored double digits. They put runs up on the board, and Tech just couldn't stay with it.
Absolutely. You know, this Tech offense is prolific, and you can see it through their averages and what they've done throughout the season, but the OBU offense is just a different monster. 3-2 is the count, though. Post has done a nice job working this count, and he skies one into foul territory, and making the catch right against the dugout is Carlson. A little basket catch right against the railing, and there's one down. What a play.
What a play indeed. First out that wasn't a strikeout. By the way, one of those two victories for Oklahoma Baptist against Arkansas Tech was Lepetsky. That's the 13-2 win. But look at this, just there.
What a kind dugout to everybody. Let's just get out of the way, make a nice little spot for you. You think you would have got the same treatment in that Tech dugout if he was going that way?
No, I don't know. And it seemed like they all got quiet, too. They held their breath waiting for him to make the catch. Collective sigh of relief with the grab.
Stroth back into the box, 0 for 1 today, and you can guess what he did his first at bat. A lot of Tech batters did the same. A strikeout for Stroth. He starts with a ball. Lepetsky going to go back into the windup. The 1-0 pitch. And this is a little outside ball, too. And so Stroth able to draw a 2-0 count here.
Well, against Tech, the last time these two teams met, Lepetsky just pitched only 5 1/3 inning. Struck out 5, walked 5 as well.
Yeah, has not surrendered a walk today, but as we say that, he falls behind 3-0. And if you go back to Post as well, he had an 0-2 count on Post before going to 3-2. So starting to miss some of his spots here in the bottom half of the third. Lepetsky going to go back and work from the windup. 3-0 pitch. Misses, ball 4. And down the first base goes Britt Stroth. The first walk surrendered here by Lepetsky, and Arkansas Tech in a little bit of business. And, you know, we've been kind of chuckling with Lepetsky and how well he's been playing, but Tech now trying to get something going here. Obviously, it's only a 3-1 game, and they've got the heart of their lineup coming to the plate, starting with McDermott. McDermott 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout. Lepetsky working from the stretch again. Checks over at first. Stroth back in safely. Stroth has 9 stolen bases on the season in 11 attempts. You have 3 players for Tech who are in double-digit steals. Guard and Hickerson, your 3 and 4 hitters, and then Michael Post, the catcher. How many catchers you see that have 18 stolen bases in a year? That's pretty impressive for a catcher. As that's going to hit the outside corner for strike one. I can't think of many just speedy catchers that can move like that at least.
No.
Especially the wear you usually get on your knees. So Michael Post wasn't able to get on though. But 0-1 is the count here to McDermott, the second baseman, was able to turn that double play in the top half of the third. And any sort of rally OBU was trying to put together. High pop up out of play heading towards us. Actually maybe heading towards the truck. And the count will stay at 0-2.
Didn't hear any complaints in my headset from the truck, so I think they avoided the hit.
0-2 the count. Lipetsky gonna set here in the stretch, and the 0-2 pitch misses high and outside. Ball one, and not that, I don't want to say this as they weren't being patient earlier. They were kind of just being mowed down, to be honest, but you see a little bit of a patience, a little bit of a different approach from ATU, taking some pitches, trying to just get Lipetsky out of a little bit of a rhythm and see what they can do, and again, try to battle here with 2 strikes. Lipetsky again in the stretch. I'll check again at first.
Yeah, I don't think though you can afford to keep the bat on your shoulder too long against Lipetsky, because he wasn't missing with those strikes. Wasn't coaxing them too far out of the strike zone. I mean, he was putting them across. But you're right. I mean, these at bats have gone a little bit longer as we've gone into this third inning.
1-2 pitch, swung on, fly ball down the right field line and out of play. Tech starting to maybe come around, at least make some contact here, whereas earlier it was just swinging right through, especially that fastball, which has really been exclusive for Lipetsky really so far today. It has been lots and lots of fastballs. That has been the dominant pitch for the fine OBU ace. 1-2 pitch. That misses. Ball 2, and the count moves to even. Almost maybe trying to move the game a little bit of a lull here, and but you know, maybe not a bad thing. Kind of just break this rhythm Lipetsky has been in, which has been just something else to behold early on.
You know, sometimes things like this, you might drag something out if momentum's not going your direction. Drag it out a little bit, see if you can change that pace. And again, we've mentioned, and you don't say anything too much out of line, we know the weather's coming. So, you know, if there is in fact some kind of delay, we know the game is going to get in as well. Maybe that changes the momentum a little bit.
Absolutely. 2-2 is the count. Lipetsky will set here in the stretch. The 2-2 pitch. High pop-up in the infield. Bloomfield will get under it and make the catch. Strong at bat from McDermott, but at the end of the day, it turns into a pop-up.
No, but I agree with you on both counts. I mean, obviously it's the second out of the inning, but it was a strong at bat. It did change things up just a little bit, and it's shifted things for Lipetsky. You know, I mentioned he was in there for just 5 1/3 innings against Arkansas Tech that last game. Well, 2 things about it. 1, it was a 13-2 victory. Didn't need him that long. And 2, it was just a 7-inning game. So that's, well, the majority of the innings he needed in that contest, or that Oklahoma Baptist needed from him.
Guard going to step into the box. 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout. First pitch to Guard, misses outside. Ball 1. You can just see not much, but just a hair of location kind of wearing off just a little bit on Lipetsky. Just missing a little bit out of the zone here in this inning. will benefit Tech, I think, as this game goes. If they can keep him a little bit off balance. They check again at first, and that gets away. Goes off the umpire, though. They'll throw to second, and not sure where the throw went there. It kind of went out of the hands of Carlson, and over to second is Stroth on the failed pickoff attempt. And so a runner in scoring position. And now a chance here for Tech. Base hit, and it's a one-run game.
It is.
I'm not really sure how, but it can be here with a base hit.
It happened in the last inning, and this is how you make things happen once again.
It's very scrappy here from the Wonder Boys with their 3-hole hitter at the plate. Time is called. 1-0 is the count, so Stroth moves over to second base. Big lead for Stroth. Lepetsky goes forward. Oh, and they lost the bat there on the swing and a miss for strike one. Wow. Wow, indeed.
That bat cleared third base and about 10 yards beyond.
The third base coach down there, which I believe is Dave Dawson, didn't flinch, I felt like. He didn't move a muscle, didn't seem too concerned about a flying bat. Let's check out. I don't think he moved.
No, he probably didn't. I can't see with that shot, but he's gutsy.
I would say so. 1-1 is the count, though. Guard definitely put a swing in there, just left the bat in the process. 1-1 pitch. Another big swing and a miss. 87 miles per hour from Lepetsky. And the count moves to 1-2.
You know, if you're Lepetsky at this point in time, Stroth not likely. I mean, he's 9 for 11 on stolen bases coming into this game. Not likely to steal third and second and short. Obviously, I mean, this is not something that they're guarding right now. Lepetsky needs to concentrate on just the pitching right now. Leave the runner be.
You can see Stroth just kind of hopping around. He's going to go for third, and it's fouled off. He had a great jump. He probably would have actually stolen third, but I tend to agree with you. If he does, he does. That's not
right.
A base hit's going to score him either way, so if he wants to take third, let him take third. The only thing that could hurt you in that situation is some sort of wild pitch that could actually score him. Yeah, OBU just does not seem concerned whatsoever with Stroth over at second.
He is met with a colossal amount of indifference.
1-2 down the right field line, just going to get out of play. And I'll tell you what, the other thing we're seeing in this inning, this has been a long inning for Lepetsky, and they are running his pitch count up this inning just by simply battling, getting him to throw more pitches, fouling pitches off, and suddenly that pitch count's up in the 50s.
Earlier in the day, we were talking about teams that needed to do everything that they could to be playing on Monday. These two teams are going to be playing on Monday anyway around, so the pitching staff does become a greater concern.
1-2 is the count. Lepetsky sets, fires, misses high, ball 2, and again, we got to keep alluding to it. If weather is in the forecast and if weather kind of throw things off a little bit, that makes managing that pitching staff a little bit tougher, especially if it ends up that these starters, if we get a long delay and these starters just can't come back because of the long delay. That'll be interesting when weather does eventually approach. 2-2 pitch, fouled off again. Boy, Tech is really just spoiling everything Lepetsky's throwing at him in this inning. It has just been a totally different approach at the plate for the Wonder Boys.
Well, you get through that lineup one time. I mean, you expect it from your starters. You know it's going to be the first time going through. You see these guys again for the first time since March. See what you can get out of them. That second time you go through the order, now you have a better shot at it. I say that. Lepetsky thought it was a strike.
I think the whole team thought it was strike 3. About half of them, maybe all of them, were heading towards the dugout, but it's just a hair outside, and it moves the count to full as this inning proceeds.
Stroth likely to be running any way around here. Not forced, but likely.
The 3-2 pitch. Ground ball heading to second. McKee makes the play cleanly, fires the first, and that will end the inning. A grind of an inning for Tech, but they can't get anything on the board. We're through 3 complete. Oklahoma Baptist 3, Arkansas Tech 1.
From the time they were born, you've helped them find their way. For more than 100 years, Oklahoma Baptist University has transformed students' lives through a Christian liberal arts education. With small class sizes and spiritual growth opportunities, we'll help them find their purpose. From athletic and fine arts events to building friendships, we'll help them find their community. And with guaranteed scholarships for incoming freshmen, we'll help you find the resources. To learn more, visit okbu.edu and find your place at OBU.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
James Hill here. We go to the top of the 4th with Oklahoma Baptist leading Arkansas Tech 3-1. We throw it over to Joey McWilliams.
Thank you, James. Up now for Oklahoma Baptist, Eric Carlson, who fouls that one off. 0-1 now the count. Bartolome and Carter coming up for Oklahoma Baptist here. 5, 6, and 7 in the top of the 4th inning. We were talking about strikeouts, and the record for strikeouts in the GAC postseason tournament is 12. As Carlson sends that up, Thompson the throw in time, and one away here for Oklahoma Baptist. It sends Bartolome up there. The record took place, Dylan Linke for East Central against Southeastern. This was about 3-4 years ago in a play-in game. This was back when there were the 8-team tournaments, and there were play-in games to get to 4 teams in the conference tournament where there was a one site. Bartolome now sees one come across. It's 0-1. 12 strikeouts for Dylan Linke for East Central against Southeastern. Here's the kicker in that one, though, James. East Central lost that game.
You got to love the 12 strikeout performance in a loss.
In a loss, yes.
Definitely a tough pill to swallow. And as this game progresses, we've seen a lot of fireworks, especially on the mound from Lepetsky to point out. But Robinson, other than that second inning, trying to settle in here and realize it's still a 3-1 ball game. It kind of, honestly, if you've been watching this game, it may kind of feel like OBU's been dominating it a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's still a 2-run ball game right now, and only in the 4th inning.
That's exactly right. Bartolome, as that one goes foul. Narrowly going foul. Bartolome 0-1 on the evening. He reached base, though, earlier, as there was an error on Corey Thompson.
He reached on the air and then hustled to get into second base and eventually came around to score.
Cranks that one, puts the bat on it. It goes far, it goes deep, and it goes out of this park. Bartolome rounds the bases. We mentioned that Oklahoma Baptist might need some more runs. They weren't really dominating. It was still a 2-run game, making a 3-run contest now as Bartolome sends that one yard. That is home run number 10 on the season, RBI number 34.
Why not add another OBU Bison into the double-digit numbers for home runs? That is the 5th Bison this year with 10 or more home runs. A pretty unbelievable mark there for OBU.
Well, that's going to bring Carter to the plate for Oklahoma Baptist. Brock Carter, as he singled back in the second inning, hitting an even 300 now for Oklahoma Baptist. Playing in and starting in his 50th contest of the year, one of 3 players to do that, along with Enriquez and Gozo. Carter, a freshman. And the 1-1 is a little high.
Yeah, he singled in his first at-bat. You see someone in the bullpen here for Arkansas Tech. It's number 6, Michael Mueller, getting warmed up here for the Wonder Boys.
Carter puts that high. It's just playable, is it? Ring him up. Nice job by Michael Post. And the senior will take a seat.
And before he does, Bobby Cox is going to come out. I think he's going to argue that it hit the netting.
It was very, very close. We may get an angle on it here. We'll see. And this is the same angle that we had. Post comes in, and Post reaches up. I don't think that hit the netting. I think that that was the right call. James?
Yeah, I think so too. His glove ended up hitting the netting, but I don't think the ball actually touched the netting. I think that was a very good call by home plate umpire Brad Clark. And they're going to have a conversation. Doug McClure is going to come over, but I don't think there's any way. I mean, maybe from a distance, maybe the second or third base umpire could get a look, but I just don't see. He probably had the best look.
Yeah, I don't see this possibly being overturned in any way. You're exactly right.
Well, Bobby Cox is fired up. He seems, obviously, he probably had the best look of anybody right by the dugout. And he is fired up. He thought it definitely touched the netting.
When we look at it again.
Unless it was something more towards the top, it seems like a pretty clean catch.
Well, if the out does stand, then that would be out number 2 for the inning. Bloomfield coming up now for Oklahoma Baptist. The out does stand. And now it's Bloomfield. The big thing, I think, for Oklahoma Baptist right now is getting that solo shot from Bartolome. So a run scored here in the inning. You extended the lead now to a 3-run ball game. And that gives Lepiski just a little bit more to work with.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you can see there's a little bit of lightning. You can see it in the sky from a distance. The weather is coming, so we'll see how much further we can go. Obviously, just a note, we know the rain is coming for sure, but the game will stop when lightning is within a certain radius at the ball field, and that will be a 30-minute stop. And just as we say that, there it is.
So we're going to take a break here for just a moment, and we'll see what the call is from this point in time. And one of the things about this, too, is that the officials have the equipment where they know where the lightning strikes are taking place. So whether you can see one or not, they have the equipment. They know it's within this range. It is a 30-minute delay from that point. If there is a lightning strike in the area, again, within that 30 minutes, that 30-minute clock resets at 30. So we'll see if we are able to continue this game tonight. We'll stay with it, but we are in weather delay right now. Our score is Oklahoma Baptist 4 and Arkansas Tech 1 in the top of the 4th inning.
The GAC Sports Network welcomes you to the following presentation of the Great American Conference.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Enid, Oklahoma, the site of the Great American Conference Baseball Championship Tournament. The postseason continues here in 2019, and we are picking up midway through our contest from last night. It's Game 6. It is Arkansas Tech and Oklahoma Baptist. This is a winner's bracket game. Both teams 1-0 in the tournament right now, and we will bring you up to speed on what is happening as we go through the next few minutes. In the meantime, the new pitcher for Arkansas Tech is Michael Mueller, making his 10th appearance of the season. He has not been the pitcher of record yet this year, and he is facing at the plate Brett Bloomfield. And the first pitch is a ball. Now we pick up midway through the top of the 4th inning from a weather delay from last night. 2 down, 2-1 the count now to Bloomfield. Swings on that one hard to right field. It is deep, and it is taken in at the warning track. And 1 hit, 1 run, no one left on base, and 15 hours later, we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, and we also go to the 3rd member of our broadcast crew. I'm Joey McWilliams along with Michael Westbrook, and here is Haley Tucker.
Hey, Joey. Yeah, you talk about the weather delay. It started at 8:05 p.m. last night, or the first pitch was at 8:05 p.m., and then the delay was at 9:10 p.m. So we didn't get too much baseball in last night. It started off by a ground out by Carlson, a home run by Bartolome, and then a foul out by Carter. And, Brett Bloomfield just went to the plate, but it's a beautiful day here for some baseball out at David Memorial Park, and I'm ready to get it going. I've missed this.
Well, Haley, we have missed you and glad that you're a part of the broadcast as well today. My broadcast partner, Michael Westbrook, as I pronounce his name properly. Glad to get to see you again. You've been in Bentonville, Arkansas with the GAC softball tournament and coming in and filling for James Hill, who was here last night. We've made lots of adjustments in the last 15 hours here, but one thing is certain, this game is moving forward. So as Haley brought you up to speed there, you see the graphic at the bottom of the screen. Oklahoma Baptist on top 4-1. New pitchers in the contest for both these teams. I didn't give you the rundown on Michael Mueller just yet because, hey, he got to pitch 2 pitches. So we'll get to him in the next inning. Coming in for Oklahoma Baptist right now is Hudson Pearson. Now, Pearson making his 25th appearance of the year. He's been the pitcher of record 4 times. He has a 3-1 record as he has pitched 42 innings, 37 hits. He's given up 26 runs, and 23 of them were earned. Struck out 44 and walked 24. His opponent's batting average is .237. And for Arkansas Tech, in order now to start the 4th inning, it is Hickerson, Kesterson, and Minor. Again, Oklahoma Baptist on top 4-1 in this winner's bracket game.
Well, Joey, somebody's been filling in for somebody throughout the last few days. So I'm glad to be back here with you, and we've got a great day of baseball ahead of us here.
And Pearson's first pitch is a strike. Do want to say thank you to James Hill. Enjoyed getting to visit with him and broadcast with him yesterday on the GAC Sports Network. Hickerson has 1 for 1 for the game. Had a single back in the 2nd inning. And the senior is batting .395 on the year. It is a beautiful day here in Enid. Overcast skies. Temperature 75 degrees. And the 0-2 is just a bit outside. 1-2 now the count.
A little bit of chance of rain tonight, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. About a 40% chance sometime after 1 o'clock. So mid-afternoon, we'll see what happens.
It's not the rain so much lately as it has been the lightning, and that's been the reason for the weather delay. Of course, a little bit of sprinkling is no big deal, but the officials watch that lightning, and that one grounded to second. The toss over to first is in time as McKee finds Carlson, and 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Now, a couple of notes from yesterday's contest. Obviously, the pitchers are different for both these teams. Pearson making his 25th appearance on the season. He has a 3-1 record, but he's coming in for Jake Lepetsky, and really that was the storyline last night, what Lepetsky was doing as he had gone through the first 3 innings and had 6 strikeouts. As a matter of fact, the first 6 batters that were retired were struck out for Arkansas Tech right now. It is Kesterson, Zach Kesterson, the junior batting .357, who struck out back in the 2nd inning.
Lepetsky, of course, was a first-team selection this year out of Brownstown, Michigan, a junior for Oklahoma Baptist. So not having that arm out there today could help, could hurt. We'll talk about that in a second.
And that one fouled back. Well, it's the same game,
yeah.
But realistically at this point, because the pitchers are both new, it is a different game. It's a different complexion. You've just pretty much spotted Oklahoma Baptist 3 runs through 3 innings.
Yeah, and they've got some pitching depth. We haven't even seen the pitcher of the year yet for Monticello, who's going to be waiting. There's a lot of good pitchers in this league, and so the fact that they're having to go to the bullpen in this game gives Monticello a little bit of an edge, you might think.
The 0-2 just inside.
They're not worried about Monticello right now. They're just worried about this game, Arkansas Tech and Oklahoma Baptist. And by the way, it is raining, Joey. So we got that coming down on us now. Am I seeing that right?
You are seeing that correct. It's not very much. It is a slight rain. I think all the folks here pretty much are saying, hey, we can take this. It's okay. There's no lightning right now and nothing to be seen. And that one in the turf just a bit, and that is turf down there. It's really, again, it's not that bad. And that rain is from a cloud that's already passed by. So directly over here, there's some sunlight. It should move on. Two and two the count now. And I have to tell you, Kesterson thought about that one. One of 6 strikeouts through the first 2 innings for Lepetsky last night. And really there was no question about it, Michael. I mean, he was seriously, he had the fastball going on. There was a lot of heat. Really no surprise that he's not out here right now, because I mean, he just was firing that ball in there, and there needs to be some rest through some of those things as the rain comes down just a little bit harder here, and Kesterson takes his base.
Well, Lepetsky was holding the #1 team in the conference as far as batting average is concerned, 328 mark for Arkansas Tech, in check through that first 3 innings. So this is an explosive offense. The Wonder Boys can hit the ball, and you know, they're probably happy to see Lepetsky not out there, and they'll try their luck against Pearson.
Patrick Minor now batting for Arkansas Tech. Sophomore hitting .394 on the year. Had a single, the only run on the board. Well, credit to him, he had the RBI back in the 2nd inning. And actually, that was an interesting scenario too. You got Hickerson on base, and then a wild pitch moves him over, and then another pitch moves him over, and then all of a sudden he's at 3rd base. Well, the single from Minor is able to bring him in. Manufactured run, but really miscues, and that was the order of the day yesterday. Miscues in the first contest in game 1 of the day, game 4 overall. Southern Arkansas had 5 errors and lost. In game 2, Arkansas Monticello won, but put 6 errors on the board. So maybe things change here on Monday.
Yeah, running the bottom of the 9th for UAM to beat Southwestern, but Coach Harvey's probably thinking we probably should have lost that game with 6 errors.
That one outside. 1-1 the count.
Did they have more home runs or errors in that game? I know that was a big home run game for UAM.
Actually, more errors.
Yeah, wow.
You combine the two, I think there may have been 6 home runs between the 2 teams, but 4 home runs for Monticello in that big 4th inning, and that was the key to the game. And that one fouled well past the right field line. Rain lessening a little bit here. If you can see that, it's more of a sprinkle than anything. It's kind of getting the ground a little bit wet, the concrete up here in the stands at David Allen Memorial Ballpark, but not too much. Minor just gets a bat on that one, fouls it back, 1-2.
Strong wind from right to left as well. You can see we can see the American flag out in right field blowing to the left. So that left field fence at 328 down the line. We've seen several home runs go out that way. We could see some more here today.
Seen a number of them go over where it's marked a little bit closer there at 363 yesterday. Quite a few went out. As a matter of fact, during that big 2nd inning, as James had called it, the power surge for Monticello, and it was that. Back-to-back home runs had gone out. All of them cleared the fence near that 363 marker with plenty of room to spare, and there was a little bit of a breeze like we're seeing now, but not that much. They were all going out. Continue to look over to first base and keep Kesterson in check there.
Yeah, 4 of 7 stealing bases for Kesterson, so he doesn't go as often as some of the other guys in the lineup, but got a few stolen bases of record this year.
Well, these are 2 of the more powerful offensive teams in the conference, as Minor gets the bat on that. The look to second, but the throw is to first in time. And a nice toss over to first base as Bartolome able to get the put out. Lead runner does advance though, 2 down here. And Casterson is over to second. Watch the look, Bartolome just a bit of a glance to second base, decides the better option is to first. And Carlson hangs on to it.
Good job to play that one behind the bag there. It's going to skip off the turf a little bit here at David Allen Memorial Ballpark. And a couple of years ago without the turf, we might have had to wipe out a full day. That at least helps the chances here now with that light rain coming down.
Oh, no doubt. Corey Thompson now batting for Arkansas Tech. The senior 0 for 1 for the ball game. Struck out back in the second inning. I say that, lots of times it sounds like, wow, that was a long time ago back in the second inning. At this point in the game, it really was a long time ago.
A nod to you on your open there that it took 15 hours before the next out was made. I caught that.
And that one corralled. 1-0 now for Thompson.
Arkansas Tech had to be thinking, here we go again. They had their softball game suspended against Southwestern out in Bentonville a couple of days ago. Had to pick it up the next day, and now the Wonder Boys have to do the same.
Yeah, it was Tech in both those games. One team, at least one team, had 4 runs in both of those games too, and about just proportionally about the same place in the ball game. Thompson to Hopper, and it's mishandled. The throw to first is in time anyway. Staying with that is Brett Bloomfield. Lost control for just a moment, but got it back. And so a very heads-up play. No hits, no runs, 1 left on base. And we will take a break. Back with the 5th inning of the GAC Sports Network.
For the last 100 years, UEM has made great contributions to Arkansas. Senator Blanche Lincoln stated in a letter to President Obama, "As we move forward in the 21st century, UEM will continue to prepare tomorrow's leaders to compete in the global marketplace for the next century." University of Arkansas Monticello Chancellor H. Jack Laster said the following for the centennial celebration. "As we approach our 100th anniversary, we are constantly reminded that we have always represented an opportunity to generations of people seeking a higher education and a better life. That message so clearly resonates today as it did in 1909. UAM is a university that is constantly exploring and developing new opportunities to help students open doors to a better life. UAM is celebrating a century of opportunity and excellence. Please join us as we continue to strive for excellence and greatness. One school, 10 decades of learning, 100 years of excellence."
Belonging isn't about fitting in, it's about feeling you can be yourself. You do you at SWASU. Quality academics, athletics, leadership, and more than 100 majors and clubs. Affordable, flexible, friendly.
Pledger, McGee, and Harris coming up for Oklahoma Baptist. In the top of the 5th inning, Joey Pledger lined out to third base back in the 2nd inning. And Pledger is batting .258 on the year. Pledger with 34 RBI, 5 home runs. Of course, both of these teams, the starting lineup is just filled with players that have quality batting averages, but many, many RBI. The Oklahoma Baptist lineup, I mean, you have 3 of the top 4 in the conference in RBI, with Enriquez with 65, or excuse me, 61, and Gozo with 65.
As a team, Arkansas Tech, or I should say Oklahoma Baptist, the only team in the league to score more than 400 runs this year, and a slugging percentage of .523. That'll bring some runs in.
Exactly. Well, Gozo's numbers are just, I mean, they are crazy numbers. We need to go back to them again. Talked about them some last night as that one is fouled back, and the count remains full for Joey Pledger. That one fouled back as well. Pledger was 1 for 3 in the win against Southern Arkansas back on day 1. Had scored twice as well in that one. Here's the 3-2, right down the middle and right over the head of Michael Mueller. He stands up, the single, gets on base, and looks like he's going to get something going now for Oklahoma Baptist. That's the plan anyway. We go back to the top of the order. The plan for the Bisons, McGee.
My goodness, Joe, this was close.
It was.
Look at this. Whew. Almost had a glove on it, but lucky it went up above his head.
Self-preservation right there, and rightfully so. McGee led off with a single back in the first inning, had an RBI single in the second inning, and he is 2 for 2 for the game. You know, lots of things change in a 15-hour layover, and of course we've talked about the pitchers that are new for both of these teams too, but you wonder about the momentum for some of the bats, and it can go both ways. Maybe you weren't hitting the ball well, you get a little bit of break and get it going. You wonder about those that were. Well, I guess what? McGee puts a bat on that one, sends it deep to center field, deep, and at the warning track, the catch is made by Riley Hickerson. And Pledger will trot back to first base. One down here in the top of the fifth inning. And P.J. Harris coming back for Oklahoma Baptist.
The delay last night and ultimately suspending the game into today slowed down the momentum of Oklahoma Baptist. A 3-run second inning, and we've already talked about their explosive offense. They were really clicking on all cylinders, pitching and hitting. And they're getting pretty good swings in here right now, already here as we resume play today.
Harris now 1 for 2 for the game, and watches a ball with his first pitch offered to him, batting .370. And that one fouled back. There are good places to park here at David Allen Memorial Ballpark. There are some places that you probably shouldn't park, and behind that left field wall is one of them. Many foul balls there.
Yeah, I tried to get as far away as I could.
Bat on that one from Harris. The toss over to shortstop to second. The double play turned, and there is the 4-6-3 ending the inning for Oklahoma Baptist. 1 hit, no runs, and nobody left on base. We are midway through this contest now. Back at the bottom of the fifth here in just a moment on the GAC Sports Network.
Could switching to GEICO really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Did the little piggy cry wee, wee, wee all the way home?
Max. Maxwell.
Yeah?
You're home.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Mrs. A.
GEICO. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
I can't believe it. I've been playing 4-on-4 with a barbershop quartet.
Pass the ball, pass the rock. We're open, just pass the ball.
Nah, I can't believe how easy it was to save hundreds of dollars on my car insurance with GEICO. Yeah.
Shoot the J, shoot the...
Believe it, GEICO could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Arietta, Post, and Stroth now coming to the plate for Arkansas Tech in the bottom of the fifth inning. And the Wonder Boys trail by 4 in this one. This is a winner's bracket game. Both teams 1-0 in the tournament so far. Both teams will continue playing this tournament, win or lose. Just depends on when they play next. Winner of this game will face Arkansas Monticello. And the loser of this contest is going to take on Harding.
A little bit of a schedule change. It'll be games 6, 7, and 8 today. And then games 9 and 10 scheduled for tomorrow. And we'll just wait and see what happens with game 11 if necessary after that.
Jonathan Arrieta batting 277 for the year. Has 9 home runs, 23 RBI. And leading off this top of the 5th inning. And the 1-1 is outside.
So Hudson Pearson pitched in the regular season against Arkansas Tech. It was the game that the Wonder Boys won. They were able to chase the starter, Jesus Chavez, pretty early. After 4 innings, Pearson came in through just 1 inning, struck out 1. He also hit a batter. Faced only 3 batters in that contest. Threw 10 pitches against Arkansas Tech. That was back on March the 22nd. It was a 5-2 Arkansas Tech victory.
You talk about the game Arkansas Tech won. Oklahoma Baptist did win that series 2-1. And in the wins for Oklahoma Baptist, significant victories there as well. 12-4 and 13-2. And Arrieta sends that to center field, and stepping up to make the catch, and really not moving that much, Joey Pledger right there.
25 runs in those 2 wins. And I talked to our good friend Todd Miller yesterday, the voice of Oklahoma Baptist, and he says it's been an up and down year, and that right there describes it. In that 3-game set, you score 12 and you win, then you score 2 and you lose, you come back and you score 13 and you win. That's a roller coaster.
No doubt. Michael Post, the catcher, a senior, hitting .301. He's 0 for 1 for the game. Had a foul ball sent high in the air and taken in by the first baseman. That one fouled back as well. Arkansas Tech with just 2 hits so far. Batting 2 for 15 collectively on the day, or on the game. I may amend that a few more times. It's just so easy to talk about the afternoon and night. And that one, the bunt laid down, and it's going to roll foul. Good decision by the Bison to go ahead and let that one go.
Communication there between Bartolome and the pitcher Pearson, both of them watching it go down the line.
And see the sun coming back out now. It's interesting sometimes when you feel the rain coming down on you and look up and the sky is blue above you. So obviously that rain started a little ways before while the cloud was still there. Blew your direction a little bit, but not too much.
I think it started right as I said rain was coming at 1 o'clock, so maybe that won't happen.
The gun.
Yeah.
One high, and 1-2 now the count. Swing at that one, and running in to make the grab for the liner, Brett Bloomfield. He's there, and 2 down here. You know, we talk about batters the first time through the order, really trying to get a feel for the pitcher, even if you've seen the pitcher before. I mean, the conference tournament, usually it's at least a month or so. Often it is. In the case of the games yesterday, it was a good 2-month gap between times that the teams had seen each other, but usually maybe a month or so time. So you go through that first time through the order, get maybe some of the jitters out, get a feel for that pitcher again. Pitcher may have the upper hand the first time through the lineup. Batters may have the upper hand the second time through the lineup, but now with new pitchers, once again, you're going through this same ordeal midway through the contest.
Yeah, absolutely, because no Jake Lepetsky out there. He actually pitched the 3rd game of the series against Arkansas Tech. So, yeah, it's like basically starting over, except for, the situation 4-1 the score.
You don't often spot a team 3 runs. You may laugh about it, but it doesn't often happen that way. And that one bounces high and out of play. But in essence, that's what Tech has done. We'll make it in a 6-inning game and spot you 3 runs. That one taken just a bit outside too. Now 2-1.
Tell you what, Joey, thinking about the way this tournament's gone already, the number 5 seed Oklahoma Baptist, and when you look at the standings, they of course were tied with Southwestern at 20-13 in league play. It took 19 conference wins to get into the tournament here, and you have a Harding team, a 6th seed, who's now 1-1 here in the tournament, but they're going to sit around a little bit all day and be fairly rested, I would think, for their game coming up later on tonight.
Turn from a 3:30 first pitch to a little bit later on. We'll see how it works out. Probably 45 minutes between these games. Is Stroth back at the plate? Of course, the senior 0 for 1. He struck out in the first inning, walked in the third. And 2s across the board now. 2 down, 2-2 the count. Bloomfield, 2 hops, fires to first, and retires the side. So for Arkansas Tech, no runs off no hits and no one left on base. 1-2-3 inning for Oklahoma Baptist, and we now have 5 complete here in Enid. Back to the 6th inning on the GAC Sports Network.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
The opportunity to be an NFL quarterback, it's really a dream come true, but the day will come where I have to lay the ball down. Being able to be an NCAA athlete allowed me to pursue something that I love in aviation. I knew I wanted to major in aerospace engineering before I came on my visit to Tennessee. Balancing being a student athlete was a huge priority. It was a point of emphasis that I'm going to be in class, I'm going to do well in class, then I'm also going to do well on Saturdays each and every week. I'm excited to see what my future holds.
Label me.
You know you want to.
Don't be shy.
You do it behind my back.
So say it to my face.
You don't know me.
You know what I am?
I'm a pitcher.
I'm a striker.
I'm a point guard.
I'm a linebacker.
I'm a setter.
Shortstop.
High jumper.
Wrestler.
Defender.
Goalie.
Student.
Student athletes.
That's who we are.
Gozo, Enriquez, and Carlson. 3, 4, and 5 in the order for Oklahoma Baptist, and Gozo swinging at the first pitch. And Michael, just look across at his numbers for a moment here as one of these incredibly talented players for Oklahoma Baptist. 65 hits, leading the GAC, 62 runs scored, 65 RBI, and that one is sent deep to left field, and it will not come back anytime soon. Gozo, second pitch, adds to the Oklahoma Baptist lead. A solo shot to left field, well past the 335 mark. It did come down, but it took a while to get there.
I said last inning I thought we might see some go to left field today. There's the first one. Gozo, a career batting average of .334 at his time at Oklahoma Baptist. So that will tell you the damage that he has done over the years. That's a big one there.
At the plate for the Bison, catcher number 12,
it is sent
Ramon Enriquez.
Beyond the mark there, the oxbow calcining. Getting a little bit of advertisement there thanks to Jake Gozo.
Stroh, the left fielder, did not make it to the warning track, turned and put his head down the other way as he knew that one had no chance to be caught.
Enriquez now coming to bat for Oklahoma Baptist. And quickly draws a count of 2-1. Well, you know, I was going to say something about Gozo being on the GAC baseball all-defensive team. Nothing defensive about that. One of 5 players for Oklahoma Baptist to be recognized on the first or second teams all GAC play. Ramon Enriquez, one of those as well. Of course, Gozo first teamer, Enriquez a first teamer, and gets the bat on that one. Hops to third base. The throw will not be in time. Enriquez beats it out, and you know, you have to give some credit there to Patrick Minor. Lots of hustle on the play, but just a well-placed ball. And Enriquez with his speed beats it out for a single. Also from Oklahoma Baptist, making the All-GAC first team P.J. Harris, as well as Jake Lepetsky, and a second teamer for Oklahoma Baptist, Garrett McKee. Eric Carlson now batting for OBU.
Just the second time Oklahoma Baptist has been eligible here for tournament play. We knew they were going to come in, make some noise once they became eligible, and yeah, we're starting to see them rack up some individual awards and some team awards now that they're a full-fledged member.
Carlson watches that one through for a strike. 1-1 now the count. Carlson batting .312 for the season. Had a home run, a solo shot back in the second inning yesterday. Ground out to short in the fourth. For Carlson, it was home run number 12. That one finds the seam in between short and third, and another single. Back-to-back singles now for Oklahoma Baptist after that solo shot to start the inning, and the Oklahoma Baptist bats are active.
Absolutely. Hard swing there from Carlson. I know you know this, Joey, as Coach Dawson's going to make his way out for a visit, but we are seeing a team that had a 10 home run game earlier this year. Okay, so we know that they can hit the ball. That was against Monticello, in fact, so that would be an interesting game a little bit later on. Did you know that was the season high for combined home runs in a game? It was 11. Monticello hit 1, and Oklahoma Baptist hit 10. It's just incredible. We talked about the power numbers for Arkansas Tech, but Oklahoma Baptist all the way through the lineup has guys that can hit the ball.
They do, no doubt about that. Bartolome coming to bat now for Oklahoma Baptist. Kaimana Bartolome. And for the Bison, he's hitting .289 on the season. And this is his third at bat. He also had a solo shot. That was accounted for the 1 run on the board back in Oklahoma Baptist's top of the fourth inning before the weather delay. And he reached base in the second inning as well with an error.
It was Monticello, Joey, that hit those 10 home runs. My bad. Yeah. But still, it doesn't take away from the power numbers.
But that was quite a game, too. In that doubleheader between the two of them, Michael, there were 18 home runs on the day. So, yeah. 1 for 2 on the game for Bartolome.
No outs here. Arkansas Tech looking for any sort of double play that they can get.
Hard cut at that. First strike. 2-1 now the count for Bartolome. Runners on base now. First and second, and nobody down for Oklahoma Baptist here in the top of the sixth inning. 3 hits, though, to start the inning. Bartolome would like to make it a 4th here.
Arkansas Tech has Jason Hastings, a senior left-handed pitcher, warming up in the bullpen right now.
And no surprise there. I mean, I think you don't have to be as concerned with your pitching staff in a winner's bracket game today, but you still want to get the win, as Bartolome, will take his base. And we may be seeing that pitching change coming right now. That's exactly what's going to happen. We're going to take a break, and we'll come back and we'll talk about the new pitcher for the Wonder Boys on the GAC Sports Network.
Character, culture, and Christ have been the motto for Southern Nazarene University for many, many years. When I came as president, I was really curious about those words and really curious to dig into the archives. In fact, a conversation on campus one day with a visitor to our campus who asked that same question: what does character, culture, and Christ mean today? These days I like to talk about refining character. I think that we're all in process, and in those collegiate years, those years of a university experience, there's a great opportunity to refine character. And then creating culture. Certainly when we graduate students, they go out and they create culture in classrooms. They create culture in churches. They create culture anywhere they go. Last but certainly not least, in fact I would put it first, and that is serving Christ. I like the fact that it's last because it does undergird everything that we do. Our responsibility, I believe more than anything else, is to serve our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
While studying chemistry, I learned so much about science and even more about myself. The professors at our school are amazing. They made a difference in my life and prepared me to make a difference in the world. Thanks to Henderson State University, I live ready.
The new pitcher for Arkansas Tech is Jason Hastings. This is his 5th appearance of the season, and he is 0 for 0. Actually 0-0. No pitching of record this year. And we throw it now to Haley Tucker now as Arkansas Tech is preparing.
Yeah, you know, guys, as a former student athlete, I really like to pay attention to, the body language of the athletes and how the dugouts are in this case. In the Oklahoma Baptist dugout, they're the loudest people here. They're the ones having the most fun here for a good reason. But, I'm really liking their energy, and their coaching staff are loving it as well. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Haley. I don't know if you heard that or not, Michael, but the stress on that in the first sentence was former student athlete.
Yeah, how about that?
So Haley Tucker has graduated from Southwestern Oklahoma State University. That happened this weekend. Lots of graduations this weekend. So Haley, I know you can hear this. Congratulations, and we are extremely proud of you and glad that we get to call you part of the GAC Sports Network now, even more officially so. So Hastings, in his 5th appearance, no wins, no losses, 3.24 ERA, has given up 12 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned. Opponent's batting average is .353 as Hastings is facing Oklahoma Baptist. Carter puts a bat on that, back to short. There's 1, there is 2, but a run will score for the Bison. 2 down, and a nice toss. The 6-4-3 retires 2, but coming across the plate is Enriquez, and Bison are up and grab another run here in the top of the 6th.
That's a big play for Hastings. You see this again. Keep the ball on the ground, give his defense a chance. Yes, it does bring in a run. Obviously, you'd like a scenario where that doesn't happen, already trailing, but if you are going to get 2 outs, then that's a good way to do it there.
And we come back to Bloomfield now. Oklahoma Baptist Brett Bloomfield. He is 0 for 2 on the game. The inning started off with a home run, a single, then a walk. And then, of course, hitting into the double play there was Carter.
She mentioned the coaches for Oklahoma Baptist. Haley did a moment ago. Bobby Cox in his 35th season. Isn't that something?
That is amazing.
More than 1,300 wins. He's got a good team this year.
Well, Hastings really takes a lot off on that changeup, and it goes from the mid-70s down to about 58. 2-2 now the count against Bloomfield.
Yeah, definitely fooled Bloomfield that time.
Bloomfield still has a runner on third with which to work here if he can find a way to put a bat on that ball. Full count now with 2 down.
Had the potential to be just a huge inning. Now all of a sudden Tech can get out of it, only giving up that 1 extra run.
And Bloomfield will take his base. Watches that one go by. Runners now on the corner, and brings up Pledger, Joey Pledger, back to bat.
Now batting for the Bison.
Pledger again batting .258.
Center fielder number 2, Joey Pledger.
Opportunity to add to his RBI total here. Had 34 coming in. And he's 1 for 2. That one low and inside. Wind shifting a little bit, coming in from right now, not blowing out to left as much. It is a beautiful Monday afternoon, and there's the flag. See it unfurled. And again, taking a lot off of that. It's amazing to watch the difference between the way the ball just seemingly floats over the plate and what Lipinski was throwing last night. Just across the corner there, 3-1 now the count.
Pledger very patient at the plate. One thing that sticks out on his stat line, he's only been hit by a pitch twice. He struck out 40 times. He's walked 29. I mean, for a 9-hole hitter, that's a lot of walks.
It is. Swings at that one to left field deep. Will it stay fair? It does not.
Let's say that won't be a walk, but yeah,
No.
he just missed it.
Now it brings the count to full now with runners on the corner, and you know, you look over there and Stroth just took about a step, said, no, that's foul. I'll wait for something else. Stroth, the Tech left fielder. And now 3-2. Runner going, batter swinging, he is out. And so Oklahoma Baptist in the top of the 6th inning is able to put 2 more runs on the board with 3 hits. They leave 2 on base. And we come back with the bottom of the 6th inning in just a moment on the GAC Sports Network.
In high school, people described me as bright,
hardworking, and dedicated.
That I had a big heart because I care about people and doing the right things.
Now, everywhere I look, I see an entire community just like that.
learning more,
doing more, and caring more.
A community of mission, Harding University.
Southern Arkansas University feels like home.
SAU feels like home because I've made lifelong friendships with people who care about me.
SAU feels like home because I'm part of so many traditions that create meaning for my college experience.
SAU feels like home because it's the perfect size to find people you share common interests with.
Come visit SAU and see why so many students are saying that Southern Arkansas University feels like home.
For Arkansas Tech, McDermott, Guard, and Hickerson to start the bottom of the 6th inning. 2, 3, and 4 batters for the Wonder Boys. Oklahoma Baptist asserting itself now here, up 6-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. And this is a team really that just cruised through the first 3 games of the tournament last year before falling to Southern Arkansas in back-to-back games on Championship Tuesday. It looks to be on the same path, at least for the first part here. They're cruising now. They win game 1 fairly handily against Southern Arkansas. 8-2 victory there back on Saturday. And I think Michael, too, as McDermott has 2 balls come across 2-0 the count. I talked about this yesterday. I think it was interesting the way the seeding worked out, that Oklahoma Baptist would see Southern Arkansas in its first contest back after what really was a collapse on Tuesday last year. Southern Arkansas gets the tournament championship. Now, OBU did wind up going to the NCAA tournament with an at-large bid. However, seeing Southern Arkansas again, going, okay, what are we going to do now? They took care of business on Saturday and got whatever was in 2018 in the past with an 8-2 victory.
And not only that, but they lost 2 of 3 to Southern Arkansas in the regular season this year as well, so that carried over a little bit. But you're right, 23 runs scored in the first 2 games of last year's tournament for Oklahoma Baptist. 11-5 victory over Henderson, then a 12-5 victory over Arkansas Tech, and it was like they couldn't be stopped, and then all of a sudden they ran into the buzzsaw that was the Mule Riders the first several years here in Enid.
4 pitches, and McDermott will take his base to open the bottom half of the inning for the Wonder Boys.
In fact, it wasn't even close. 16-3 was the final in that if necessary game last year. Yeah, they had a lot of these players are back from a year ago, and they had something to prove, and they did against SAU, but still a long way to go in this tournament now.
We talked about 65 hits for Jake Gozo. That's matched by Harry Gard for Arkansas Tech. 65 hits on the year in 165 at bats. That is just shy of hitting 400. Matter of fact, he's at 394 coming into today. Not as successful against Oklahoma Baptist so far in this game. Struck out back in the first inning and ground out to second base in the third. The 0-1 is outside, bringing up the 1-1 for Harry Gard. Slugging percentage of .461 on the year. And he scored 38 runs as well. That one right down the middle, 1-2 now.
Yeah, two players entering this game in the Arkansas Tech lineup with a .394 average, and then Hickerson waiting on deck a .395 mark. You'd think these bats might get going at some point during this game.
And we talked about it's not just Oklahoma Baptist. Both these teams are powerful offensively. And that one well outside. Looked like it might have gotten away from Pearson there just a little bit. I like what Haley had to say a while ago too. I mean, you see the difference in the two teams, and Arkansas Tech having a runner on base now, starting to get a little bit more active in their dugout where they were a while ago. But the Bison enjoying the numbers that are being put up on that top line. Gard gets a bat on that one and singles to right there. So now Tech trying to mount some kind of offensive threat here. First two batters in the bottom of the sixth inning both reach. One a walk, one a single, and that brings up the cleanup batter in Riley Hickerson.
Only the third hit of the day for Arkansas Tech, but as we said, a big bat coming up here. This is the part of the lineup you want at the plate. You have to string hits together in a row, and time here for a mound visit. But you've got to get a couple of hits in a row or have the big hit if you're going to get back in a game where you're down by 5 more than midway through it now.
Well, and again, you don't have to get them all back at once. At this point in the contest, you are starting to see the time evaporate a little bit, but one or two at a time. It does have to start somewhere, though, and that is the key, as there is activity in the Oklahoma Baptist bullpen as well.
Think
right
about
now, just the discussion going on the mound. Michael?
Sorry, Joey. Think about this for Pearson. 24 appearances, only 42 innings. So this is not a guy that goes out and throws 5, 6, 7 innings. And they're not used to him having to log too many big innings. So he may already be kind of at a point where he's beginning to get tired and getting a little worn down.
The senior for Oklahoma Baptist, Pearson from San Diego, and previously played at Southwestern in California, not Southwestern Oklahoma. He pitched for 6 innings in a loss against Oklahoma Christian. That was back on February 7th. And other than that, he really has only topped a 2-inning mark a couple of times. 4 innings against Southwestern Oklahoma State University. He actually was the pitcher of record then and got a win against the Bulldogs, and had 3 innings against Oklahoma Christian in a loss, and did not factor into that decision. His previous 5 pitching stints have been 1 2/3, 1 inning, 2 1/3, 2 2/3, and 1 1/3 against Southern Nazarene. It's a very good point, Michael.
It comes down to pitching in a 4-day type tournament here, and now again this one carrying over from last night. So you need some of these guys to go a little bit more than what they're used to if you're going to be successful.
And that one is in the turf, and the runners will advance. So the first offering that's coming in for Hickerson.
That was slow motion all the way around. Looked like the catcher was going to be able to grab that one off the glove and just kind of trickled away from him. And the runner stayed put at first and then thought, well, wait a minute, we need to be moving here.
Everybody was slow on the jump on that one. You're right.
Yeah, and that's not what you want if you're Pearson either. Coach has just come out to talk to you, and lefty-lefty matchup here. You go inside on him, and the catcher can't catch it.
Runners in scoring position now as Hickerson 1 for 2 on the day. Thought about that one. He kept the bat on his shoulder, and I think he is not happy with that decision, whether it be not taking a swing at it or the fact that the ump called it a strike. It's 1-1 now.
So I was wondering, his decision or somebody else's decision?
Yes. Sometimes you can be unhappy with both. And time on the field. Pace of the game slowed down just a bit here in Enid. That one fouled back, 1-2 now the count.
Wonder if this is Pearson's last batter either way. You got that lefty-lefty matchup. Sometimes you like that advantage for the pitcher. It's hard for that left-handed batter to see from a left-handed pitcher, and a lot of time has now gone by, so time to get warmed up in the bullpen for sure.
One-two swung on. Received the look over to second. Now the throw to first is in time, but a run will score for Arkansas Tech. Hickerson does his job. Guard stays at second, and McDearman comes in for the score.
Sure enough, Coach Cox is out, and the umpire's already called for the change, Joey.
All right, change is in the works, and we're going to take a break, come back with a new pitcher, and get to visit with Haley in just a moment, right back here on the GAC Sports Network.
Yeah, I've got choices.
I'm ready for my future.
Your future, your choice.
Southern Arkansas University feels like home.
SAU feels like home because I've been treated like one of their own from the very beginning. While at SAU, I felt comfortable, encouraged, and motivated to succeed.
SAU feels like home because the atmosphere makes me feel secure and like I'm a part of a family.
SAU feels like home because everyone is here for our students. They care about our success.
Come visit SAU and see why so many students are saying that Southern Arkansas University feels like home.
The new pitcher for Oklahoma Baptist is Shane Kelso. Has a record of 4-3 on the season. This is his 21st appearance, 5.35 ERA. As we look down to Haley Tucker. And Haley, what do you have?
Yeah, you know, I talked a lot last year about how calm, cool, collected that Bobby Cox was, like you said, in his 35th year here at Oklahoma Baptist. And you know, the momentum started to change a little bit with, like I said, that the body language of the student athletes, you know, the Oklahoma Baptist kind of had the edge on them, and now Arkansas Tech is gaining some momentum with this. So back to you guys.
Thank you, Haley. Well, the momentum shift as Oklahoma Baptist trying to put a little bit of a stop to that. They bring a new pitcher in. Again, Kelso in his 21st appearance. He's pitched 38 2/3 innings, given up 22 hits, 25 runs, 23 of them earned. Struck out 55 and walked 44. Opponent's batting average against Kelsey is a mere 164.
You said it, they don't have to get every run back right away, but Tech does get one out of the deal so far. And good job of Pearson there to get a ground ball. Maybe not necessarily what he wanted to give up a run, but it does keep the ball in the infield. They were able to get it out of the deal. And it holds that runner at second base. You know, it's a different scenario if that runner's at third base with only one out. Having him at second base, it gives your relief pitcher who's coming into the game now a little bit more of a feel of relaxation to come into the situation with the runner at second instead of at third.
And you know, also, Michael, it's one of those things too, if you happen to, you know, work it around a little bit, not give up something easy, but you wind up walking, now you have a base there, it's open, set up a possible situation to close out an inning with a double play.
93 on that one, according to the radar gun. So I think we got someone coming in to bring some heat.
Zach Kesterson 0 for 1 for the game, struck out in the second inning, walked in the fourth. And that one, hard cut at that one, but a little behind that 94-mile-per-hour fastball. Well, you kind of have a feeling that you have 2 or 3 pitchers on your staff that really can throw some heat. With Lepetsky out of the lineup now after what he did in the first part of the game, which was yesterday. Who else is going to come in there and match that? Looks like we're seeing that from Kelso.
Another
one at 94. One and 2 the count now.
Again, like you said, it's now the third pitcher that this Arkansas Tech batting lineup has had to see, and it's been different styles.
Got him looking. Second out of the inning as Kesterson will take a seat.
You go from the heat last night, and you have kind of the left-hander, maybe a little more crafty, and then that one comes in at 95 that time.
Right back to last night. Back and forth. Well, the one thing about it, though, Michael, is Patrick Minor now comes to bat. He's seen what he's facing. May want to stay ahead of this pitch. Has a runner on second, 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. That one a little high. Still in the mid-90s, though. Ball 2. Go ahead.
Sorry, Joe. It could be another situation again where you've got a guy and he might be in there just for an inning or 2, and so he's gonna give it his all while he's out there.
And a junior from Findlay, Nevada. He says, as that one gets past, Enriquez is going to chase it down, allowing a runner to go to third. He says in his bio, the reason he came to OBU was because of not only their recent success, but their proven ability to help pitchers get drafted.
Wow.
We're watching somebody right here throw it 90 miles an hour consistently, mid-90s consistently. Play on a team like OBU, has some success, is going to catch some eyeballs, put you in a good position to be drafted with that kind of heat. That one in for the strike. 3-1 now the count. Minor will take his base. That brings up Corey Thompson. Thompson now with runners on the corner. And 2 down.
I tell you, I don't think he was a pitcher, but you might recognize this name. The last active Oklahoma Bison player to get drafted, Keach Ballard, out of Durant, Oklahoma. But they have a whole page. Back to that point, Joey. You can go to their page and find players in the pros, and it goes on to the second page. So yeah, that would be a good reason why you might want to go to Oklahoma Baptist.
Thompson watches that one go by a little high. We mentioned last night 5'5" frame, so that strike zone will be compacted just a bit here. Gets the bat on that one. The throw, the 6-4 put out as Bartolome over to McKee, and the side is retired. For Arkansas Tech, though, they do get another run put on the board, 1 hit, and they leave 2 on base. Back with the top of the 7th inning on the GAC Sports Network in just a moment.
You dream of a place where you're valued just as you are, figuring out your future on a safe campus with caring friends and faculty. You do you at SWASU, Weatherford, and Sayre. Being a Bulldog means being you.
I knew engineering would be a challenge, but that hasn't stopped me. Here, I could create a new organization and networking opportunities for women in STEM fields. At Arkansas Tech, I'm more than just a student. My name is Emily Torrealba, and I am a trailblazer.
Why be a ranger? At Northwestern, with small classes, you can be seen. With over 40 programs from business to nursing, you can be career-driven. With a campus home away from home, you can be independent. With over half our students graduating without student loans, you can be debt-free. And with a mosaic of cultures, you can be you. Northwestern, success lives here.
Oklahoma Baptist getting ready to get the top of the 7th inning going with a 6-2 lead. I'm Joey McWilliams along with Haley Tucker, and I pitch it now to our broadcast partner, Michael Westbrook.
All right, thank you, Joey. We are in the top of the 7th, 6 runs on 10 hits and an error for Oklahoma Baptist. They are the visiting team in this one, and they have the top of the lineup at the plate: Garrett McKee, P.J. Harris, Jake Gozo. And for Arkansas Tech, they have 2 runs on 3 hits and 1 error so far. Hastings, the left-handed pitcher, is back out for another inning of work. He has gone 1 inning with a strikeout and a walk, faced 3 batters. And he's behind in the count. 3-0 will be called for a strike, 3-1. He replaced Mueller, who replaced the starter Robinson, and it's going to be a 5-pitch walk for Garrett McKee to start the top of the 7th inning. A leadoff runner is on for the Oklahoma Baptist Bison.
Designated hitter number 13, P.J. Harris.
Chance for them to tack on some more runs in a 4-run game with the top of the lineup here and some heavy hitters. P.J. Harris now at the plate, hitting .370 this season. He has driven in 42, 14 doubles and 10 home runs for a slugging percentage of .636. He took a rip at that one for sure. Came up empty as Hastings got it past him. Still a nice steady breeze from right to left in the outfield, blowing in at times. Slight little lead off of first for McKee, who has 3 stolen bases this season. 2-0 the count. Hastings is having some trouble throwing strikes here, Joey. Walked McKee on 5 pitches. Excuse me, 1-1 the count. Deals that one outside, 2-1.
There's no activity right now in the Tech bullpen, but we have talked about this. Some of these middle relievers, you may not see them for too long today. You don't want to waste an arm, though, at this point in the tournament if you can keep from it.
Winner of this one has to turn around and play again. That one getting past the catcher, and on down to second goes McKee as Michael Post had some trouble with it.
You know, it does make me wonder, though, on how ready that the starting pitchers for both these teams from the game earlier, which again was yesterday, will they be ready to go on Tuesday? And that one,
yikes.
Wow.
Harris hit in the back. On the numbers, it looked like. See it again here.
And right in the small of the back. That's what it looked like when he turned. His head was facing this way, and that grimace just said it all. Looked like hit right there in that little divot right there in the small of the back. Wow.
Louisville Slugger All-American as a freshman at Alabama State. P.J. Harris on at first base now, first and second, nobody out. Once again, Oklahoma Baptist, they get their leadoff runners on, start to apply some pressure on Arkansas Tech. You were talking about the pitching, Joey, and yeah.
I mean, will we see a Jake Lepetsky or a Leighton Robinson if one or both of these teams are playing on Tuesday?
I would think so. Yeah, I think it is a high possibility.
Just a couple days rest, but not that many innings pitched from the starters.
Tell you what, this is a tough situation for Jason Hastings to put himself in. Walks a batter, then hits a batter. And he gets to face Jake Gozo, who hit a home run his last time up and took a home run cut there as well. .327 average this season, now 19 home runs to go with 14 doubles and 2 triples. He's driven in 66.
Well, you know, the number, I mentioned this yesterday, the number that I find as impressive as any of those, of course, the now 66 RBI, 66 hits, now 63 runs. He gets on base, and he knows how to get on through.
Hastings ready to deliver the 1-1. It'll be another moment.
Has quality hitters behind him in the lineup, but you know, nothing silly, not going to get thrown out, anything like that. Gets on base, stays on base, comes home.
.407 batting average against left-handers. 1-1, sky to the right, out of play. A ball and 2 strikes now to Gozo. Batting with nobody out, 6-2 game, top of the 7th inning. The conclusion of game 6 of the tournament that started last night at 8:05. We hit the delay at 9:10. Started back again here at noon today. 1-2 to Gozo, and he'll take low for a ball, 2-2. Robinson started the game, went 3 2/3, gave up 2 earned runs on 6 hits, and then Mueller started today's action. 2-2, called, strike 3. Gozo will have a little bit of a conversation on his way back to the dugout with home plate umpire Brad Clark. Gozo not happy about that one. It's the first out of the inning. He does lead the league in strikeouts as well. It happens sometimes with the power hitters.
Well, often, though, you're going to see that with a power hitter leading the league in strikeouts to go down swinging.
That's true.
Watch that one across.
Now the cleanup hitter, the catcher Enriquez, hitting .331 this season. I heard Todd Miller say last night on the radio that he has started every single game at catcher. 30-19 the record for Oklahoma Baptist. Here comes the 1-0 from Hastings. Fouls that one 1-1. .392 average with runners in scoring position.
Hastings mixing things up a bit here.
Activity now in the Arkansas Tech bullpen. We have Cole Drake, freshman left-hander, warming up. Nope, excuse me, that's not a left-hander. He's got his glove on his left hand. Just going with what stats tell me. Charlie Ship. Help if I would get the number right down there. Still a chance for Oklahoma Baptist to make this a big inning. 1 down, 2 on. Here's the pitch. Misses inside and low. 2-2.
Well, Hastings has really been trying to fool Enriquez on the inside here. Has him swinging a couple of times. We've already gotten out of one potentially dangerous situation with runners on, no one down, and Gozo at the plate. Struck him out. And coaxing Enriquez to foul that one back, so it's becoming a longer at bat.
Yeah, making Hastings throw some pitches, that's for sure. Enriquez flew out to right field his first time up, rounded into a double play in the 3rd, and singled back in the 6th inning, 1 for 3 days so far. Big numbers for the cleanup hitter as well. 15 doubles, 2 triples, 11 home runs. 2-2 delivery. That'll miss low, and the count goes full. Gozo also had the full count just a moment ago. He struck out looking.
I like where Enriquez is from, by the way. He's from Cappuccino High School in California. Of course, there's a Cappuccino High School in California.
Wish I knew where that was. Payoff pitch. They'll do it again.
It's in San Bruno, California.
Okay.
Just to be clear, it's not actually spelled like the drink.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
But still.
You are a coffee drinker.
I am.
As am I. You kind of have to be in this business, don't you?
I think so.
Here comes the payoff pitch. Runners will go. It's ball 4, and the bases are loaded for Oklahoma Baptist, and only one out. So it has been an interesting inning here for Jason Hastings.
It has, and looked like he had the upper hand on Enriquez there, but Enriquez being patient, watching it through, waiting it out, and winds up taking his base balls. And Michael, this is really now, this is where we talk about Oklahoma Baptist really does need to tack on at least one more run in a situation like this.
Carlson will take for ball 1. Yeah, and you know, with the way Hastings is pitching right now, they might get it without even swinging the bat because he's walked 2 and hit a batter. Hasn't been just a whole lot of action from the bats in the inning, but they do have them loaded now. That one almost hit him. See the players still try to reach down, swipe up some sort of dirt if they can get anything on their hands. No batting gloves for Eric Carlson. On the right side, out of play. 2-1 now the count.
Ball will land on the netting above the Oklahoma Baptist bullpen.
McKee at third base, Harris at second, Enriquez at first. And Carlson sitting on 50 runs batted in, 12 doubles, 1 triple, 11 home runs this season. He can add to those numbers. Skips in front of the catcher, in front of home plate, so everybody has to stay put.
That's a really good job by Post, too. He lost where the ball was, but he had put himself in a position to make sure it did not get past him. And had it gotten past him, that would have been a run scored for sure.
Got the hitters count here with the bases full. That's going to be ball 4, and so there you go. Hastings a bit wild this inning. Has walked a run in. Garrett McKee scores for Oklahoma Baptist, and it is 7-2.
Well, it's the scenario you described. Didn't have to swing the bat there at all, really.
Number 14,
Oklahoma Baptist now adding to this lead.
Bartolome at the plate. Watch out here, runner coming down from third. He will score easily. Harris scores on the wild pitch. It looked like he was about to break home anyways. And that makes it 8-2. 2 runs in the inning and not a hit. Wow.
Yeah. Oklahoma Baptist had been showing dominance on offense, but these have been miscues in pitching.
Infield is drawn in, 1-0 count. Curveball finds the strike zone, 1-1. You have Enriquez now at third. Carlson is over at second. Chance to make it a huge inning. Bartolome stands in with a 1-1 count. He'll take low, 2-1. A little surprised to see Coach Dawson stay with Hastings this long.
Now, you know, this is a totally different game than what Arkansas Tech had back on Saturday.
2-1 foul territory. Looks like it'll reach the seats. Well, not quite the seats. How about into the dugout of Oklahoma Baptist?
Tech came away with a 5-2 victory over Southwestern. Isaac Hale, the pitcher, who comes away with the win, goes to 9-2 on the season and at one point retired 20 consecutive batters.
Played that one in less than 2 hours?
I believe so, yes.
Wow.
I think I had heard something about 143.
2-2 misses low. First base is open. The count is now full to Bartolome with Carter, Brock Carter, waiting on deck. Still just the 1 out in the inning. Here comes the payoff pitch. Got him swinging. Second strikeout for Hastings here in the frame. 2 down, still 2 on. And it brings the left fielder Brock Carter to the plate.
Well, with Hastings stuff, when it's good, it's good. There's just been a lot of extraneous around it.
All right, well, I messed it up earlier talking about the explosive Monticello Oklahoma Baptist series, but how about the explosive Oklahoma Baptist series against Northwestern Oklahoma State earlier in the year? Brock Carter was your player of the week that week. That was a big weekend for Oklahoma Baptist. He hit 500. He drove in 10.
Hard cut at that one, by the way. 1-1 now the count.
They won those 3 games 12-4, 21-10, and 11-8 back in February.
Now see, there's an offense, by the way, and a program, and we mentioned this yesterday, a program on the rise in Alva.
1-1 on a line. Center fielder is there for Arkansas Tech, and the catch is made by Riley Hickerson. So 2 runs come across for Oklahoma Baptist in the inning on no hits, and they leave a couple of on. We've hit the 7th inning stretch. That took about, 17 hours, I guess, to get to the 7th inning stretch here. We'll be back in a moment on the GAC Sports Network.
At Arkansas Tech University, I find harmony between art and science. Here, I can sing into a microphone and learn how one works. Whether it's performing on the field or solving an equation, I'm constantly evolving to meet tomorrow's challenges. I am a musician and a future engineer. My name is Jordan Davis, and I'm a lifelong learner.
Southern Arkansas University feels like home.
SAU feels like home to me because it is my home away from home. My professors, friends, and classmates have taken on a caring and supportive role for me.
SAU feels like home because the faculty treats me like a part of their family, and they do everything in their power to help me succeed.
SAU feels like home to me because the atmosphere on campus makes me feel secure and like I'm part of a family.
Come visit SAU and see why so many students are saying that Southern Arkansas University feels like home.
Well, the kids wanted a puppy, but they can be really expensive. So to save money, I just found them a possum.
Dad, I think he's dead.
Probably just playing possum. There he is.
There's an easier way to save. GEICO. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Bottom of the 7th inning from David Allen Memorial Ballpark. Michael Westbrook along with Joey McWilliams and Haley Tucker. 8-2 is now our score. Oklahoma Baptist with the lead on the Arkansas Tech Wonder Boys. Added 2 runs in the top of the 7th inning. Did not register a hit there. Jason Hastings had a little bit of trouble on the mound. And so here is Jonathan Arrieta up first for the Golden Suns. Oh, excuse me, for the Wonder Boys. I've been calling softball the last few days. By the way, congratulations. That was where I was going with that. I just jumped in front of it a little bit too soon. Congratulations to the Arkansas Tech Golden Suns for winning the 2019 softball tournament championship. Back-to-back seasons. First time that has ever happened on the softball side to claim 2 tournament championships in a row. High pop-up. Shallow left, and left fielder is going to come in for Oklahoma Baptist, Brock Carter, and make the catch for the first out.
Bloomfield was waiting for it there at short. Carter called him off the last moment. Yeah, we mentioned that last night. 5-1. There have been 6 different tournament champions in 7 years coming in. First time that, again, a tournament champion has repeated the process in back-to-back years. Southern Arkansas has won 2 tournament championships as well in softball. But yes, congratulations to Coach Christina McSweeney and her staff and her team. And by the way, the NCAA Division II regional brackets have been announced. The NCAA tournament, as there will be 2 teams from the Great American Conference representing in the NCAA tournament, Arkansas Tech and Southern Arkansas. And they're going to wind up facing each other in the first round. Tech number 4, Southern Arkansas number 5. Those games will take place, by the way, it's a sub-regional in Edmond, Oklahoma, on the campus of Central Oklahoma. And, well, the winner of that game will likely take on UCO, who is the number 1 team in the country.
Absolutely. Won a national championship a few years back. They
2013.
take on Minnesota Duluth in the first round contest. This is Michael Post at the plate. The senior hitting .301, has a 2-2 count with 1 out. Arkansas Tech, by the way, in softball to finish that up, they swept SAU in the regular season.
And still finished a half game behind them.
Yeah.
Tech has won 16 straight games now.
Ground ball picked up by the second baseman on the second effort there, just in time for the out. As Garrett McKee had a little bit of trouble with it early on, but recovered for the out, 2 down.
You know, we're in Oklahoma right now. This is watching some quality baseball here today. This is the place to be for softball, Michael. I don't know if you knew that or not, but Oklahoma is the place to be for softball.
Yes,
the number one team in the country is the University of Oklahoma in Division I. In Division II, the number one team in the country is UCO, Central Oklahoma. And in the NAIA, Oklahoma Science and Arts from Chickasha, the USAO Drovers, the number one team in the country.
Pretty incredible.
It really is.
Yeah. Saw an article about that on social media. I don't know if it came from you. Have you written an article about that?
Likely that OklahomaSports.net posted something about that.
Okay, all right.
Social media.
There we go.
Very likely.
I just saw the headline. I didn't read it. I'm sorry. 2-0 the count here.
Not all the social media on OklahomaSports.net leads to a story. Sometimes it's just social media.
Okay. Stroth will take a strike. Leadoff hitter for Arkansas Tech, .327 average for the senior. Trying to get something going for the Wonder Boys. Bases empty, 2 outs. Trailing by 6 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Shane Kelso is the pitcher for Oklahoma Baptist. Starter, as we've talked about, was Lepetsky. And then we started the day with Hudson Pearson, who went 2 1/3. Gave up 1 hit, 1 earned run. He walked 2, did not strike out a batter. That's going to go up high for ball 4. Kelso now has gone an inning and a third. That's his second walk issued, and he has struck out 1 out of the 6 batters that he has faced.
At the plate for Arkansas Tech, second baseman number 2, Dylan McDermott.
Yeah, in some ways we were hoping, I guess, that maybe the Great American Conference could have got 3 teams into that sub-regional. That would have taken a Southeastern tournament win. You would have maybe liked your chances a little bit better of getting a team past that. But yeah, UCO is going to be a tough challenge for anybody. Number 1 team in the nation.
Playing at home.
Yeah.
It's not as far a drive, though, for GAC fans to get to Edmond as opposed to somewhere in the northern sun, Winona.
Yep. Yeah.
So I'd rather drive from Arkansas to Oklahoma than South Dakota.
Absolutely. On the baseball side of things, now that Southern Arkansas is out, remember they came into this tournament ranked 8th in the region. Swing there from McDermott makes it 1-2. It's likely that
it puts them in a tough situation.
Yeah, because now the winner of this tournament gets the automatic bid if it's not Monticello, and that would certainly knock SAU out. Runner's going to go, and he's just going to keep on going there to second without a throw. Pitcher Kelso recognized that he was moving, but there was nothing he could do. His shortstop and second baseman didn't go with him. So Stroth, 10 stolen bases now, and a fly ball to right center. Long way for the center fielder, but he is over there to make the catch. A great grab by Joey Pledger, and that will end the inning. No runs, no hits. There was 1 left on. We have played 7. Oklahoma Baptist leads Arkansas Tech 8-2 here on the GAC Sports Network.
My college journey allowed me to become a versatile musician, a well-rounded student, and a stronger person. My experience at Henderson State University is why I live ready.
At Ouachita, we care deeply for our students, and we are seeking to invest in them every day.
My professors are some of the best people I've ever met. They love me, they care for me, they care about my well-being.
Faculty are so open to helping you, even outside of the classroom. The night before the test, they'll stay up till late in case you need help. And they're really open about that, just like really helping you understand everything.
The faculty has challenged me in a way that I feel equipped for whatever comes my way outside of Ouachita.
The faculty and staff really pour into me every day in class, but also out of class. They're really invested in my future.
We develop relationships, and we really seek to pour into the whole person.
Shortstop number 20.
Brett Bloomfield will be up first for Oklahoma Baptist, then Joey Pledger and Garrett McKee, 8-9-1 in the batting order. And Jason Hastings still on the mound for Arkansas Tech. Top of the 8th, 8-2, Oklahoma Baptist with the lead. Well, it's not quite the 23-run explosion that they had in their first 2 games last year, but still this Oklahoma Baptist team has been impressive so far, Joey.
No doubt about it. I mean, they've been consistent. They're not just blowing things out of the water. And I don't know, the pace they were on last night before the weather delay, it might have been a little bit more of an offensive explosion, but you know, you're putting runs on the board now, 7 innings complete, and you've scored in multiple runs in 3 of those, runs in 4 of those. I'll take that. I'll take that any day. Yes.
Oklahoma Baptist has now reached the 30-win mark for the 16th consecutive season. Ground ball on the right side will get through, a base hit to start the top of the 8th. Brett Bloomfield hitting just .223, but his average has gone up over the last several weeks. He has been on a bit of a stretch, and so there's a base hit for him. And he's able to get to first base to bring up Joey Pledger.
Joey Pledger.
For as many double-digit outputs as Oklahoma Baptist has had this season, and again are on pace for one right now. You know, if you can get 6-run gap there and get those 8 runs to stand, you have to feel happy with that. And of course, now we're at the point in the season and in the postseason, if you will, where a win's a win.
Runners going off of one hop, throws there in time, he's out. Caught stealing. Broomfield caught stealing for just the first, caught stealing for just the first time this season. And now the pitch here, swung on, one hop into the left fielder's glove, so another single there. Britt Stroff will send it back in. So 1 out and 1 on.
At the plate for OBU.
Well, hindsight's 20/20. Think maybe hold the runner there at first, a base hit. You'd have first and second, nobody out, but instead a caught stealing and a base hit, so 1 out, 1 on for the top of the lineup. And Garrett McKee.
It's always that way. We had one of those, I think last night. Southwestern had made its way all the way back after the huge second inning from Monticello.
Fouled out of play.
And Southwestern gets back, and in the top of the 9th inning, actually, you know, ties the score at 8 apiece. And in that run that came across, another runner behind him tried to score from second, thrown out at home. So instead of taking the lead, it was a tie game. But, you know, even at that, Michael, hindsight's 20/20. You look back, okay, if you just held up a little bit, maybe you could have come across a little bit later. Don't get that other out and give Monticello a chance with you just tied. Sometimes that's just the way teams play. We look at that. You know, Oklahoma Baptist has been fairly aggressive so far. Southwestern, even to get to the point last night where they had tied the game in the 9th inning, had to have some aggressive running. So, yeah, you know, 50-50.
It was certainly an interesting play to see it develop.
Yes.
In fact, at one point, did I see that right? He went all the way from second. A walk allows McKee to reach into that dangerous part of the lineup again.
Well, I don't know, Michael. You know, at this point, you look at it and you say, okay, well, the bases could be loaded for P.J. Harris. If Harris gets on, the bases could be loaded for Jake Gozo.
Yeah.
With 1 out here. That's all speculation in the future, and Tech doing what it can now to try to put a stop to all of it.
The loser of this game will drop down into Game 8 of the tournament and take on Harding. There's nobody in the bullpen for Arkansas Tech. So
and that was the point I was just about to make, Michael. No activity right now.
Stay with Hastings, understanding they still have to play again later on.
If it is a matchup with Harding, that's a rivalry matchup number 1.
Harris at the plate for the 5th time today. Could be 2, 4, 6, and scooped out at first 3 for the double play. Great play there from Arkansas Tech as it goes Dylan McDearman to Thompson and back over to Arrieta at first to end the threat. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It's 8-2 Oklahoma Baptist with the lead on Arkansas Tech here on the GAC Sports Network.
I've been a leader most of my life. My little sister looks up to me, and I want to teach her that she can accomplish her dreams. One dream is college. I'm the first in my family to attend, and I needed a campus that felt like home and was near home so I could stay close to my family. Now as a campus tour guide and a resident assistant, I make sure other students feel welcome and part of our campus community. Here, I am more than just a student. My name is Alita Gutierrez, and I'm a role model.
From the time they were born, you've helped them find their way. For more than 100 years, Oklahoma Baptist University has transformed students' lives through a Christian liberal arts education. With small class sizes and spiritual growth opportunities, we'll help them find their purpose. From athletic and fine arts events to building friendships, we'll help them find their community. And with guaranteed scholarships for incoming freshmen, we'll help you find the resources. To learn more, visit okbu.edu and find your place at OBU.
Accidents can happen anytime. That's why Geico's here 24 hours a day, every day. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Bottom of the 8th inning, 8-2 our score. Oklahoma Baptist leads Arkansas Tech. Wonder Boys will have Harry Guard, Riley Hickerson, Zach Kesterson, 3, 4, 5 in the batting order. Well, the double play sent us to the break, Joey, but we were talking about how Arkansas Tech does not have anybody warming up in the bullpen. They're going to leave this in the hands of Jason Hastings, I would imagine, for the 9th inning as well, depending on how this 8th inning goes, perhaps.
Right, and they're in no way seeding this game at this point. You may be being wise with your pitching staff, but you're not just saying, hey, we don't care if we lose the game. I mean, they're coming out to win this ball game. However, if Oklahoma Baptist is able to hang on to this 6-run lead, and again, because of the look in the bullpen, we're seeing what is likely an Arkansas Tech Harding matchup. I mentioned before the break, number 1, it's a rivalry matchup, so that's always big. And number 2, this is because it's the rivalry matchup in baseball, it means it was the last series of the regular season.
0-2 ground ball on the right side. Pitcher's going to have to come over. Kelso not in time. Safe at first base. Guard stretches out to get on base to start the bottom of the 8th inning.
That was a great run, no doubt about it. I mean, he hustled this through, and it's the slide. And I mean, you want to talk about it being close. Ty, I say just a fraction ahead there for Guard, but that was all hustle. The other thing I was going to say is the fact that because it's a rivalry game, it's the final series of the season. That means that just took place this past weekend, fresh on everyone's mind. Pitchers know the hitters and vice versa. And Harding took that series 2-1. Arkansas Tech won the opener 8-5. Harding then won 22-8 and won the series finale 4-2 as that closed out the regular season for both these teams.
And it was incredibly important for Harding to get 2 of those 3 games so that they could be in the tournament as the 6th seed.
They needed those games much more than Arkansas Tech did.
Tech the 3 seed. A win yesterday, 5-2 over Southwestern. Just now playing their 2nd game here, as most of you probably know by now. We had to suspend that one last night, pick it up here at noon today. 2-0 count to Hickerson. Runner's going to go. Ground ball through, a base hit. The hit and run was on. And easily over to third goes Guard. Nice little stutter there to make sure the ball didn't hit him. And we got runners at the corners for Arkansas Tech in the bottom of the 8th. Hickerson with the base hit.
Nice little bit of play acting there. Act like you had the ball and act like you were going to throw it to first. And see if you can get Guard to slow up a little bit. He was not phased.
So first and third for Arkansas Tech. Zach Kesterson, the junior, hitting .357. Wonder Boy's not done just yet. Fastball 94 miles per hour, misses the zone though, and it's 1-0. 44 runs batted in, 12 doubles, a triple, no home runs for Kesterson, designated hitter. As Guard at third, Hickerson at first. 1-0. Tapped foul there, 1-1.
Just like I said, nobody's seeding any of these games yet. But it's all part of the chess match. It's the overall thing. It's not just the battle, it's the war.
Yeah.
It's the entirety of the weekend. And, you know, we saw in Bentonville in the GAC, the softball tournament has moved from a double elimination tournament to a single elimination tournament. Now, that was an 8-team bracket, which means it's going to go on just a little bit longer than a 16 bracket like we see here in baseball. But with the shift there, it's a shift in mentality. You use your pitchers differently, use everyone differently. And by the way, the softball tournament was going to go to a single elimination anyway. Next season just upped the calendar a little bit in the way it took place because of the weather and the way things had to be done.
We just put the beta testing in place this year.
Exactly.
It worked out.
The mind games that go on in a double elimination tournament for coaches, not only against other coaches, but I believe internally as well there to try to make sure you have the proper people in place to get through all of a double elimination tournament.
Hitters count here 3-1. That is low, ball 4 on a 96 mile per hour pitch. The bases are loaded for Arkansas Tech and nobody out. As Guard, Hickerson, and Kesterson have all reached, and a very dangerous hitter stepping to the plate. Third baseman Patrick Minor, sophomore, entered the day with a .394 batting average. An RBI single in the second inning, a ground out in the fourth, and a walk in the sixth.
And now those extra runs for Oklahoma Baptist back in the 7th inning are starting to seem very big. And there is some activity in the OBU bullpen.
You look through the stats for Oklahoma Baptist, they have not had situations where they've needed too many saves this year. You're not going to find a guy with 8, 9, 10 saves. Kelso, in 38 2/3 innings, has 2 of the team's 6 saves.
Swing and a miss there. There's a little bit less heat on that fastball than there was just a few moments ago, but still 82 coming across quickly.
I wonder how many runs it would take for Arkansas Tech to get somebody up in the bullpen. 0-2 delivery, swung on and missed, got him on 3 pitches. And there's the first out in the inning. We're getting close to the triple digits there, Joe.
Yeah, that registered 96.
Yeah. Wow.
At the plate for the Wonder Boys, shortstop number 4.
I was wondering for a moment maybe if Kelso was winding down just a little bit after having been out there for a moment. The fastball down to just 82. Wow, he decided to make a statement.
He's gone 2 innings now. He's walked 3, struck out 2, given up 2 hits. He'll face Thompson, still with the bases loaded, and that's ball 1. Corey Thompson entered the contest with a .299 average. Struck out in the second, grounded out in the fourth, and reached on a fielder's choice in the 6th. Still a big opportunity for the Wonder Boys. This one to right center. It will fall. A base hit. 1 run is in for Arkansas Tech. Harry Guard scores. Everybody moves up a station. It is now 8-3 as the Wonder Boys get a run back here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
And we mentioned these were 2 offensive Powerful teams, offensively powerful teams. The top 2 teams in the league in RBI. Tech got another one right there. We just haven't seen that much from them so far in this game. The Bison pitching has kept them in check. And the 8th inning may open things up a bit here.
Jonathan Arrieta at the plate. A couple of fly ball outs his last couple of times up in the 7th and 5th. Big swing there, 0-1. He struck out in the 2nd inning, so Jonathan Arrieta, first baseman, 0 for 3 game. Really do some damage here. Shane Kelso on the mound, 0-1. Ground ball on the right side, past the glove of the first baseman for Oklahoma Baptist, as Eric Carlson was not able to come up with that one. Riley Hickerson scores. It's a hit, an RBI single. Everybody moves up again, and it's now 8-4.
Very, very close to sending 2 that time for Arkansas Tech.
One of those situations with only 1 out, you say, well, you don't want to make an out at home. Just play it safe. Everybody moves up. Still the bases loaded, and a lot of pressure on Oklahoma Baptist right now.
Well, this conversation, I'm sure, in part to settle things down, but the other part of it would be this. It gives a little bit more time in that Oklahoma Baptist bullpen just to throw a few more pitches, get just a little bit warmer here.
Now, the point I was making a minute ago, you know, if you just look through the stats, you don't really see a closer pop out. So kind of wonder who Oklahoma Baptist might go to in this situation. Obviously, they have arms down there, and our view is blocked on that right side to be able to tell you who is in the bullpen. Everybody moves up. Kesterson at 3rd, Thompson at 2nd, Arrieta's over at 1st. That's a big hit for Arrieta. 0 for 3 day, or game, going back to yesterday. And so he finally is able to break through out of the 8th spot in the lineup, and it brings up the catcher, Michael Post. Plate umpire says he went around there 0-1. Couldn't hold up on the check swing.
Post just done a pretty good job, I felt like, behind the plate. I think he's done well today as the catcher for Tech, and just had a solid game. Anything that you get more from him with his bat, I think, is extra.
He's posted up nicely back there.
Yes.
0-1 delivery. Right down the middle that time, and it's now 0-2. Still a big deficit, but it is a tying run in Post at the plate. Swung at that one, came up empty, and he is out. He reached out way after one that was in the turf and outside. Strike 3, 2 down.
I was checking to see if he played basketball.
That would make more sense.
Yes, he was a cornerback, though, in high school and football, so guarding those post routes.
Yeah. Base is still loaded for Arkansas Tech. Top of the lineup, Britt Stroth, 327 average, 25 runs batted in. That one almost hit him. It hit the catcher. Goodness. Enriquez is the one that comes up hobbling. Catch him in the leg,
yes,
or the?
He's going to walk this back through just to give himself a little bit more time. I think he may have hit a little farther up.
Check it out here.
Yeah, above that left knee is what it looks like. You have the guard and the protection can go only so far, and generally when you're in that crouched position, it does protect well enough. You step out of it maybe to catch the ball that bounced off the batter and back to the catcher.
So after that one, a 1-0 count. And here's the pitch. Fastball in for a strike at 95 miles per hour, 1-1. 2 runs in the inning for Arkansas Tech, 4 runs on 7 hits for the game. They've had 4 hits here in this inning. Doing it a little bit differently than Oklahoma Baptist did in their half of the inning. That one misses low for a ball.
You have to wonder about the game too. If it had stayed an evening game, how it would have been played out, how things are different now. An hour and 10 minutes played last night. An hour and 45 now being played. I mean, we're closing in on 3 hours here. Would it have kept this pace if it had taken place in the evening?
Pitch a moment ago almost hit Stroth. He's got the count in his favor at 3-1. We'll see if he gets anything to hit. That one's in for a strike. The count goes full, 3-2. Well, a strike away from getting out of the inning, or a big hit, making this game a lot closer than it is now.
Expect the runners to go.
Kesterson at third, Thompson at second, Arrieta over at first. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, bottom of the 8th. Big pitch, payoff pitch is fouled out of play. Everybody will go back, we'll do it again.
Well, you know that bat's going to be moving here. You don't want to just sit there and watch this one come through. You want to make the contact and see if you can plate 1 or 2 here.
Payoff pitch again, it's ball 4. Kelso walks a run in, it's 8-5. All of a sudden, the potential go-ahead run is going to get a chance to come to the plate. Coach Bobby Cox out of the dugout. He has asked for a pitching change. So a new pitcher will come in for Oklahoma Baptist here in just a moment. Bases loaded, 2 outs in an 8-5 game. We'll take a break, tell you about the new pitcher in a moment on the GAC Sports Network.
Pay my bill.
Your account is already paid in full.
Oh, yeah, in that case, back to vacation mode. Boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and
Voice-enabled bill pay, just a tap away on the GEICO app.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
The professors care and they go out of their way to make sure that you are going to succeed.
Hi, I'm Rolante. I'm a sophomore in Southeastern, and we help make this video.
Bottom of the 8th inning, 8-5. Now our score. 3 runs have come across in the inning for Arkansas Tech. They're not done just yet. We got 2 outs, bases loaded. Interesting start to our day here today to make this one close. It looked like maybe Oklahoma Baptist would just move on fairly easily. Not the case. Andrew Eppenbach now takes over for Oklahoma Baptist, Joey.
He's making his 22nd appearance this season, has a 3-0 record, an ERA of 5.11. He's pitched in 3 complete games coming in, has no saves, pitched 49 and a third inning, 47 hits he's given up. He's also given up 34 runs, 28 of them earned, struck out 53, walked 28, and has an opponent's batting average of .245.
Went through a jersey change today, too.
Yes.
Thought he was going to be 23, out there wearing number 35. Dylan McDermott at the plate. Senior name that we have called quite a bit over the last few years. 354 average. Stellar senior season. 15 doubles, 11 home runs. Huge spot for McDermott. We'll let the first offering go by low for a ball, 1-0. In fact, 6 seniors and 7 if you include the starting pitcher Robinson in this lineup at the beginning of the contest for Arkansas Tech. .0 delivery, and therefore a strike, 1-1.
Well, you know, Michael, those are the kinds of players that are going to look at an 8-2 deficit in the 8th inning and say, we're not done yet.
Absolutely. Now the 4th pitcher used for Oklahoma Baptist. Kelso still responsible for the 3 runners out there. 1-1 delivery to McDearman, a right field in the air. It is playable for the right fielder. Reaches over. Jake Gozo makes the catch, and it ends the threat for Arkansas Tech. However, they do produce some runs, 3 of them, in fact, on 4 hits, and they leave the bases loaded. We have played 8-5. Oklahoma Baptist leads. We're back in a moment on the GAC Sports Network.
Character, culture, and Christ have been the motto for Southern Nazarene University for many, many years. When I came as president, I was really curious about those words and really curious to dig into the archives. In fact, a conversation on campus one day with a visitor to our campus who asked that same question: what does character, culture, and Christ mean today? These days, I like to talk about refining character. I think that we're all in process, and in those collegiate years, those years of a university experience, there's a great opportunity to refine character.
As a student athlete, I've been challenged both in the classroom and on the field. Between the education that I've received and the relationships that I've built, my time at Henderson State University has prepared me to live ready.
Good looking pitching mound there, David Allen Memorial Ballpark. And now we have a pitcher. Jason Hastings still on the mound. Well, hey, there was some concern as to who might be pitching. Now we know. And he has to face Jake Gozo. First pitch swinging. Got a little redemption there from striking out last time up. First pitch, a base hit to start the 9th inning. Sorry, I had to there. Got a long day ahead of us.
Sir, not appearing in this film.
So Gozo right there right away on first base. And now Ramon Enriquez will step in. I got you a fun fact on Enriquez. How many sports do you think he may have played in high school?
I'll say 4.
+1. 5 sports.
Wow.
So I want to know the 4 that you were thinking. He's going to lay down a bunt. Tried to that time. Decided to take the strike. I'm sure you were thinking baseball.
Baseball. I would say he probably played football.
That's 2.
It's those 2 are different times of the year, and between those is basketball.
There's 3.
And I would imagine that he probably played soccer as well, if you could get that in during the football season, maybe.
Nope. Would you like me to give you the other 2?
I would. Ran track then.
Wrestling.
Ooh.
And water polo.
Oh my goodness.
There you go. Yeah. How about that?
It's a sport that's not.
It's a big sport in California.
I was going to say not offered in the GAC.
No, no. You would have got it if I'd have given you that hint.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Clearly.
That wasn't one of those we tried to throw in from April Fool's Day one year, was it?
Yeah.
No. 5 sport athlete in high school. Impressive. Curling was the one they threw in on April Fool's Day, I remember. 2-1 now the count to Enriquez. Very good guesses by you, though. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. Trying to think when the sports fall in the year, and you know, it's one of those things too. You can often, at least in this part of the country, and I would imagine wrestling probably in California would fall during the winter time.
Yeah.
So you know, you could make some matches and get in on most of the basketball games as well.
3-1 will miss low, ball 4. So Oklahoma Baptist has the first 2 runners on base here with nobody out in the 9th inning.
I'm still thinking about the wrestling too. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm wondering what weight he wrestled at. Because I am sure he was a formidable opponent.
I'm going to find that out for you. Maybe not before the next game,
right.
but before the tournament comes to an end. Eric Carlson.
Wow. How did that stay?
Long look down to third for Carlson. Get the signs. Entered the contest hitting .312, 50 runs batted in, 12 doubles, a triple, and 11 home runs. That one's way outside there.
You know, Hastings has been fun to watch too. I know that there have been a couple times he's been in a predicament, but I mean there has been a lot of movement to that ball today, and he's really, tried to pitch a very smart game.
And there is somebody warming up now for Arkansas Tech, Ty Johnson. Got a mound visit. Shot of the pitcher in the bullpen for Arkansas Tech.
Well, you said how many runs is it going to take? Maybe 3.
Yeah.
There was a 6-run deficit before.
This visit seems to be more about just giving Johnson some time to warm up. Sidearm pitcher. See a whole lot of conversation taking place.
No. Finding out exactly what the post-game meal is going to be. And what needs to go on. Checking to make sure, what do you do if there's a runner at first and second and a ground ball to short? What's the play?
Winner of this one will turn around and play again right after the conclusion of this one, about 45 minutes afterwards, against Arkansas Monticello. And then the loser will drop into what will become an elimination game between Harding and against Harding. And then that's going to do it for today. Curveball popped up on the infield. And the infield fly roll, I believe, is in effect. There it is with runners at first and second. So he's out, and that is 1 out in the inning. But Joey, we're in a situation here where we got 4 teams left entering our 3rd day, in a sense. And we're still going to have to find a way to play at least 2 on Tuesday.
Exactly.
Normally, that would be our final day. We're wondering, are we going to play 1? We're going to play 2? No, we know there will be 2 tomorrow for sure. First pitch swinging here into center field, and that is caught. Gozo will stay put as Arkansas Tech center fielder Hickerson brings that one back in. Now 2 outs.
We're back in a hurry, and Michael, this is interesting since that conversation. 2 pitches, 2 swings of the bat, too. Getting a couple more outs, I mean, for Arkansas Tech, may be able to get through the remainder of this game with Hastings there. If it keeps up this pace, definitely not given that much more time for warm-up, though, if not.
You wonder the mindset there. I guess maybe they thought that Tech's assistant coach said go in and throw strikes, so we'll just go try to swing away. Carter will take. Of course, Gozo swung at the first pitch. I mean, that's kind of been the MO here in this half inning. 1-0, another one skied high on the infield, and Arkansas Tech second baseman Dylan McDearman camps underneath it, moves over a bit, will make the catch and end the inning. So nothing doing there for Oklahoma Baptist despite a couple of base runners, and we'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Arkansas Tech down to the last 3 outs in this one, trailing by 3 on the GAC Sports Network.
I've heard people say Ouachita.
Wichita.
Achita.
Ouachita.
Is it pronounced Ouachita?
Searching for Ouachita Baptist University along your route.
Some folks think the O is a Q and they say Quashita.
Hey, Ouachita. Ouachita.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Washita.
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 How would you pronounce it?
Washita.
Washita.
It's Washita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Washita, people. It's Washita.
Washita.
small classes, you can be seen. With over 40 programs from business to nursing, you can be career-driven. With a campus home away from home, you can be independent. With over half our students graduating without student loans, you can be debt-free. And with a mosaic of cultures, you can be you. Northwestern, success lives here.
8-5 our score into the bottom of the ninth from David Allen Memorial Ballpark, Enid, Oklahoma, the side of the 2019 Great American Conference Tournament Championship. For the 6th time in 8 years. Took a little detour there for a couple of years to Arkadelphia, but now our 2nd year back here in Enid. And I got to tell you, Joey, I liked making my turn down South Grand Avenue to the ballpark and see the beautiful basketball facility across the way as well. And nice to be back here in Enid.
Oh, it really is. It's more than a basketball facility. You know, Enid is not a small place anyway. A large town, has an Air Force base in the vicinity, and that's actually, that hosted the Stride Bank Center hosted the Beach Boys last night.
Impressive. In fact, Oklahoma Baptist drove in on basically what amounted to an RV, and I thought that was the Beach Boys tour bus, but it wasn't. 0-1 the count to Harry Guard, now 0-2. After Guard will be Hickerson and Kesterson, 3-4-5 in the batting order for the Wonder Boys. I told you Oklahoma Baptist 16 consecutive seasons of 30 wins or more now with their win over Southern Arkansas to get them to 30. Tech is sitting at 29-21.
And you know, that the thing about that really that is that much more impressive is it hasn't changed in the transition from NAI to NCAA. I mean, they're continuing to have success on the diamond year in and year out. What a testament to Coach Cox and to his staff.
0-2 to Guard, will miss low, 1-2. And I went back and looked up a few numbers during the Coach Cox era. 55 wins in 2014, 53 wins the next year. Pretty good when you can pick up over 100 wins in 2 seasons.
And you know, there were a couple of seasons there as Guard's going to take a seat. A couple of seasons there in the transition time in which you can't be in the NAIA playoffs, but you're not yet eligible to be in the NCAA playoffs. They won NCCAA national championships.
Yeah.
Actually had a walk-off grand slam for a national championship win during that time. How's that?
That's the ones you dream about when you're a kid, right?
Oh, man.
Riley Hickerson at the plate. Takes a fastball for a strike there. 0-1. 5th time in this contest for Hickerson to come up to bat. Had a ground out RBI in the 6th. A couple of singles as well. 2 for 4. This will be a ground ball hit to the second baseman, picked up easily over to first. As it goes McKee to Carlson for the out. 2 down in the bottom of the ninth. And that will send Zach Kesterson to the plate. Because of their win over Southwestern in the first game, 5-2, not an elimination game here for Tech, but if they don't come back, it will put them in one in game 8 of the tournament against Harding.
That will be an evening start time as well.
Kesterson takes for a strike, 0-1. Oklahoma Baptist trying to go 2-0 to start the tournament for the 2nd consecutive year. They had an 8-2 win over Southern Arkansas. 8 seems to be their number right now. That one will miss low, 1-1. One and 1 to Kesterson, 2 down. And the pitch misses 2-1. Monticello waiting. They had a 4-0 win over Harding, then a 9-8 win over Southwestern. Two balls and a strike, and now 3-1 the count. So Kesterson remaining patient at the plate. Still looking for his first hit in the contest. He has struck out twice and walked twice. Did score a run in the 8th inning. Andrew Eppenbach trying to finish it off. Here's a 3-1. Hard hit ball, left field, the base hit. And so the game continues on for Arkansas Tech. With 2 down, the runner at first will bring up Patrick Miner to the plate.
Well, it just takes one. Just takes one to get things going, so we're going to see a pinch runner here.
That is Elijah Boyer. The junior will stand in to run at first base.
Returning for Arkansas Tech, number 1, Elijah Boyer.
If somehow Miner can reach, then the tying run would come to the plate.
Number 17, Patrick Miner.
Monticello waiting patiently to see which one of these teams the Weevils are going to face here.
They have a good seat just over the Arkansas Tech dugout down the third base side. Pitch to Miner, fouled out of play, 0-1.
Anyway, around, Monticello, the regular season champions here in the GAC, is going to be taking on a team that's pretty tough offensively, pretty tough out.
Wasn't just a whole lot of difference 1 through 6 in the league this year. The 0-1, another one out of play, and it's 0-2. Again, it took 19 conference wins to get you into the tournament.
2 games separated the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th teams in the standings. And then, of course, Harding with those 2 wins and 3 games against Tech to get in, and have earned another day stay in Enid. See if it's a second extra day. That'll be tonight.
Eppenbach, 0-2, foul back. It'll be the winner of that game 8 that will play game 9 of the tournament tomorrow at noon. 0-2 the count, 2 outs, 1 on. Patrick Miner at the plate. The pitch right there for strike 3 looking. Oklahoma Baptist advances with an 8-5 victory over Arkansas Tech.
It was definitely a hard-earned victory and a well-deserved victory, no doubt about that, for Oklahoma Baptist. And Arkansas Tech, admirable to stay with it in the end, didn't give up, although you knew that plans were being made, you know, just in case. They're going to be playing in the next game. That's, they're going to be playing their next game against Harding. That's the later one, as Oklahoma Baptist will be taking on Monticello in just a little while. We'll give you the tentative first pitch time here in just a moment. But that's going to be the game that follows this one, and that will be the final game in which there are 2 teams meeting one another with no losses.
Just a moment here, we'll go to Haley Tucker. Oklahoma Baptist scored 3 runs in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th. Proved to be pretty big runs late in the game there. 8 runs on 13 hits, 1 error. They left 8 on base. Arkansas Tech scored 1 run in the 2nd, 1 in the 6th. They added 3 in the 8th, and they finished with 5 runs on 8 hits, 1 error, and Arkansas Tech left 10 runners on base. Oklahoma Baptist now goes to 31-19. Arkansas Tech falls to 29-22. And we're now ready to head down to the field. Haley Tucker is standing by with Jake Gozo.
Jake, take us back to the 6th inning with your home run. What were you looking for when you stepped up to home plate?
I was looking for what I always look for. I just look for something up in the zone. I threw a changeup, 1-0, and then I figured he was going to come back with a fastball, and I got it. So.
Yeah, and, quick turnaround. You had to play last night, and then the delay, and then you had to play today, and now you have to turn around and play Monticello. Talk about what your mindset is going into this game.
Yeah, honestly, I think we have the advantage. We're hot and sweaty. We're ready to go. They're cold, Bison are rolling, so we're ready to go.
Well, I won't keep you any longer. Good luck tonight, or today. Yeah, back to you guys.
All right, thanks so much, Haley. Again, 8-5 the final. Joey, your final thoughts on this one?
Well, it took about 18 hours to get everything completed, but the pitching staff stayed with it. The changes, the adjustments were made for Oklahoma Baptist, and then as Gozo said, they're ready to play. They're already hot and sweaty and good to go, so they're ready to get out there for our next contest.
All right, we've still got 2 more full games to come here on the GAC Sports Network today. We're going to have about a 45-minute break if you are interested in watching the next one. And if you're an Oklahoma Baptist fan who's been watching this one, you probably want to stay with us. So they will take on Arkansas Monticello in about 45 minutes. And then we do know that it will be Arkansas Tech and Harding coming up a little bit later on. For Haley Tucker and Joey McWilliams, I'm Michael Westbrook. So long for now from David Allen Memorial Ballpark in Enid, Oklahoma. This is the GAC Sports Network.